referring all of our documents to the Department of Justice for the purpose of accountability and action. No one, no matter who they are, no matter how high up they are.
Gabbard says declassified documents show in the days leading up to the November 2016 election, intelligence officials consistently stated Russia is probably not trying nor had the capability to influence the election by using cyber means. Things change after the election, she says. But Democrats say Gabbard is conflating hacking and influencing.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera at the White House. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is visiting a wounded Border Patrol agent at a New York City hospital this morning after he was shot and wounded during a robbery attempt Saturday night. He returned fire, wounding the suspected robber, an illegal immigrant who could face attempted murder charges. Mayor Eric Adams says,
we have to be quick and swift to deal with those who believe they're going to inflict violence.
It's up to at least 19 people dead in Bangladesh, where a fighter jet on a training mission crashed into a school campus and burst into flames. At least 100 others were injured. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why forecasters say you probably won't want to be outside this week. It's 72 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 82. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Heat levels could feel like they're over 100 degrees by midweek.
Anytime you get heat index values up that high, people are more susceptible to heat-related illnesses. If you do have to be outdoors at those times, we recommend you take frequent breaks.
Forecaster Jason Puma at the National Weather Service says your next chance for rain likely will not come until the end of the week. Protesters outside various places on Sunday in Indiana. Here's Johnette Cruz.
A new federal spending package fueled protests on Sunday. Groups demonstrated outside the offices of Republican congressional members, including Senator Todd Young in Carmel. The rallies protested increased funding for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, under the Big Beautiful Bill. Activists expressed deep concerns, pointing to the bill's provisions for millions of deportations, thousands of new ICE agents, and expanded detention facilities, including Indiana's Camp Atterbury. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
No curfew violations for teenagers this weekend in Indianapolis. That's what IMPD Chief Chris Bailey said happened over the weekend during the WNBA All-Star game and Black Expo. Also, the head of the Indy FOP, Rick Snyder, is joining Bailey in congratulating the community and saying thank you to the Indiana State Police for their assistance. Shots fired and 2 people hurt on Indy's West Side Sunday. The shooting near 10th and Tibbs. 1 person taken from the scene to the hospital. The other person walked into the hospital. Both people are expected to be okay. The man convicted in the 2017 Delphi murders is being held in a new facility. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
Online records from the Indiana Department of Corrections now show Richard Allen as being in an out-of-state facility. The Lexington Assessment and Reception Center in Cleveland County, Oklahoma, took Allen in on Thursday. He was previously held at the Pendleton Correctional Facility. It's unclear at the moment why Allen was transferred to Oklahoma. Last year, he was convicted in the murders of 2 young girls in Delphi in February of 2017 and was sentenced to 130 years in prison. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indiana Fever say that Caitlyn Clark most likely will not play in Brooklyn against the New York Liberty on Tuesday as she continues to deal with a groin injury. Now with the check of your traffic, here's Matt Baer.
Crash north side, westbound 465 after Allisonville Road. The right lane is blocked and traffic is slow back to I-69. Stall, Hancock County, eastbound 70 before State Road 9. It's at Fortville Pike. Right lane closed, no delay at the moment. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, New customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Decreasing clouds should actually be a very nice afternoon. Today's high 84. Mostly clear, quiet, and very comfortable overnight. A low of 65. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
And it's 74 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey starts right now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Hey, question.
What's that, Rob?
Have you ever walked into a meeting and said, pay us what you owe us?
I don't think I said it quite like that. I think it was more like, is compensation negotiable?
You know, the WNBA is just phenomenal. We used to call it as a Cubs fan as a kid, we used to call it snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. and that is what they keep doing over and over and over again. And the fact that they, on a national stage, had the audacity to wear these shirts out to the All-Star game. Okay, so if you're not aware of what we're talking about, the WNBA All-Star game was here over the weekend. And obviously there was a bit of it seems like everybody who went had a great time. By the way, the city appeared to be very safe. I guess all you got to do is unleash every IMPD officer and every available state policeman.
Right.
In
full force.
Maybe some people will behave themselves. And thankfully that the city appeared very safe, and that was wonderful and great. Finally, that happened. We'll see how long that remains in full effect. But the WNBA All-Star game was Saturday night, and these players in a league that has, while the exact extent of the finances are not clearly known, it is leaked out over the years of not only do they fail to make a profit, they have lost a colossal amount of money basically every single year collectively as a league, that they are the charity case for the most part of the NBA owners through political correctness, whatever, will not allow a women's basketball league to fail. And for the first time, there is some enthusiasm, some energy about not even the league. I mean, look at the ratings when Caitlyn Clark is not involved in something.
Not there, right. It just keeps getting reported over and over that the WNBA loses $50 million every year and has never generated a profit. And then you have these players come out for the All-Star weekend with T-shirts that say, pay us what you owe. It does seem like maybe they're unaware of what their bottom line says. They're not reading the room.
Well, they don't care. They don't care. That's the point. It's the entitlement. And this is the major knock on this league has been, this is a group. Can you imagine a business that went 25 years without ever turning a profit and then comes out to their clientele or whoever and is like, you all better shut up and pay because you're lucky we're here. We joke about how the British Open was over the weekend. And, of course, there's these live golfers, the Saudi-funded golf entity that has bought up some of the biggest names in golf, and these guys, when they show up to these major tournaments, always have the aura of a John Hughes teen drama villain about them. Like they're like, what's Spader? James Spader. Like if every character James Spader ever played in the 80s was a golfer, it'd be the guys off Live. Nobody knows them anymore. You can't see them almost anywhere. It's impossible to find them. But they show up to these golf tournaments like, you're lucky we're here and that we're participating in your tournament. And that is the aura that these players had wearing these shirts that said, pay us what you owe us. And the response from the internet, not that the internet is real life, but it just seemed like universally, people are looking at this going, if we pay you what we owe you, you're going to end up writing a check back to the owners because you people have cost them millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, well, the WNBA has experienced some significant growth, but this is all due to the popularity of Caitlyn Clark. And I don't know if they're talking about pay us what we owe. I mean, she has all sorts of endorsements, but as far as a rookie salary goes, no, it's not very high compared to the NBA rookies.
But look at her endorsements.
Right.
And by the way, there's a collectively bargained deal, right? This is the union's deal. You can't say, oh, poor Caitlyn Clark, when the union has negotiated how this works. What have we said on this program for a year now? She should just leave the league. Just go be the king in his court. King in his court was a famed softball pitcher in the 1960s and 70s who was able to throw a ball that nobody could hit, and so that was the sideshow. He would go to various cities. He would pitch against professional baseball players, et cetera, and he would walk out there with a catcher, a shortstop, and a first baseman and go, good luck, and nobody could hit him, and that was the attraction at ballparks. He was the traveling sideshow, the traveling road show. She should do that. But I'm sorry, we always hear how great unions are. We always hear how fabulous unions are. We always hear how unions are the great equalizer. This is the deal the union negotiated. Okay, Caitlyn Clark, this is what you make. She makes tens of millions of dollars in endorsements, so don't cry for her, Argentina. She's doing just fine. And the rest of these women, they make what they make because they don't make any money.
Right. Would anybody be as interested in the league if it weren't for Caitlyn Clark? No. We know the answer to that. It's absolutely not. She is the one who is getting all of the attention.
And so when you come out on a national stage, by the way, without the player there that everybody wants to see, and your salvo to the world is give us more money, not thanks fans, not watch us work, not, great. I'm just coming up with slogans off the top of my head. Anything that would endear yourself to a national audience who might be seeing you for the first time.
Thanks for being here.
Nothing.
No.
It's just simply give us more money. And so then, of course, it feeds on the internet. People finding these clips, even in this game, of basketball.
Of the bricks being thrown up.
Somebody said this on Twitter, and I forget who it is. I would love to source the person, but I can't remember. But the person on Twitter said, basically, people go to sports because they want to see the unbelievable that they can't imagine doing. That's what sports really is all about. You can't dunk like LeBron James. You can't throw a football like Patrick Mahomes. You can't hit a baseball like Aaron Judge.
I can do an air ball trying to make a layup.
Yes, and the guy said, he goes,
I can throw a brick up.
Why did people pay to see Mike Tyson in the 1980s? You knew the fight was going to last a minute 20. Some dude might die in the ring, right? Not literally, but you know what I'm saying, right? You paid to see the unbelievable. You give of your money to see things that you can never accomplish on your own. The average WNBA game, I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to be mean by saying this, but since they want to make it all about them, let's make it all about them. You could go to your local YMCA and see an advanced rec league, and they could play the quality of basketball 90% of the WNBA plays. There's a couple of players there that are outstanding, Caitlyn Clark being one of them, but people look at that and go, I can do that. What people want to see her because she does things they can't do.
Right, exactly.
She's the one, right?
I want to see her hit three after three point.
Yeah, you could.
I can't do that.
She couldn't legitimately play with men consistently, but you kind of believe maybe she could. You kind of believe, hey, this is the one that's different than all the rest. And there's some audio out that they didn't even consult with her about this, that one of the players was saying that basically, do we have that?
Yeah, it's Kelsey Plum. She seemed to be dissing on Caitlyn Clark.
That was a very powerful moment. We didn't, at least as players, we didn't know that was going to happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just United Front was determined this morning. That we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just We had a very
that really needed to be mentioned.
I'm trying to make a situation light, okay? But,
she is the only one doing anything for this league, and they can't help themselves.
But she wore the shirt.
She did.
So she doesn't see, she keeps bending a knee to these people who hate her. So I'm done being sympathetic for her. And I think a lot of people over the weekend were done being sympathetic for her because she won't stand up to it. I said from the beginning, she needs to be the villain of that league because people will embrace her because they hate that league. Everybody knows what that league is. Everybody knows the real finances of that league. Everybody knows it's been a charity case. She's so much bigger and so much better than that league. And what did I say from the beginning? I said she needs to come in and be a villain in every city she goes into because the people will eat it up because she'll be the one person speaking and saying the truth.
Yep. She did put out a tweet over the weekend. She said, incredible weekend in Indy. Our organization gave everything to make this the best WNBA All-Star weekend yet, and it delivered in every way. Grateful to call this city home and beyond thankful for the incredible fans who brought the energy and made it special.
No, what you told me is it's about money. It's not about growing the sport. It's not about bringing more people in. It's not about inclusiveness. You had every opportunity to do that. And your statement to the world was, we deserve more money.
Give us more money so we can play this game.
What a horrible, they don't care. Those women are fine. See, the problem is, I know we got to get to break. The problem is they know the NBA will not allow the league to fail. They know no matter what happens because of political correctness, they will not allow that league to fail. So they can do or say whatever they want to do. And there will be no it's the same thing about when those players in the 2020, 2021, even before that, when they were kneeling during the anthem. They knew no matter what they did in various leagues, the owners would not have the cojones to stand up to them. So it's like, we'll just do it. We'll endear ourselves to a very small group of people. We'll get nice publicity, nice things written about us. Who cares who we alienate? Who cares who we piss off? Who cares the regular people who just want to see us do our thing? We don't care about them because we're about us. And that's what they did over the weekend.
It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up. The coffee is brewing. And Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Bill Estes Ford is your neighborhood truck dealer. And right now, during the Ford Summer Sales Event, we've got an amazing deal you won't want to miss. 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. That's 3 big zeros, which adds up to 0 excuses not to drive home in a new Ford today. Every day is truck day. Go anywhere, do anything in a new F-150, starting at just $46,295. Bill Estes Ford, online at BillEstesFord.com.
Stock BFP 250444. Always see CP there for details.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell.
Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Guys, feeling exhausted? It could be low testosterone. Get your energy back with TRT at the Low T Center. Right now, get a free test and save over $100.
This offer ends July 31st. Book your test today at FixMyLowT.com. FixMyLowT.com.
Pierce Jewelers is the best family-owned jewelry store in Carmel. All jewelry and watch repair, appraisals, and custom design are done in-house. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
I'm so torn on this about whether I say good job or not. Because what I'm saying good job about is the bare minimum.
It's thank you for doing your job. No, that's not right. Thank you for the youth for not coming downtown and being violent, creating havoc. Maybe that's who you should be thanking. Hey, thank you for not breaking the law.
I mean, yes, thank you to, and we always say this, to all of our policemen, whether you're an IMPD or a state police person or anybody who helped out over the weekend, or even people like Abdul, who every year during the Black Expo mans the door at some prominent place in order to try to be visual and keep the peace and everything else. Thank you to all those people who did. The Reverend Charles Harrison, all those people, the 10 Point Coalition. Thank you for that. But this is where we're at in our society. We're at a point in our society where, hey, nobody got blown away over the weekend. Great weekend. And we've so normalized bad behavior. We've done it at all levels, right? I was thinking about this, and I was looking at the template, and I knew we were going to get to this. We've so normalized bad behavior. We've so normalized bad guys behaving badly that we do some sort of victory lap, and it's like we should thank them for simply not behaving badly for a weekend. Everybody knows this isn't going to last because you can't every weekend take every available officer and stick them in the greater downtown area.
So what happens this coming weekend?
Right.
When there's not the WNBA All-Star game or the Indiana Black Expo?
We know the homeless camps will be back. They already are. We've seen the footage of that. They're coming back. We know the criminals might have retreated for the weekend because they knew there would be an advanced presence and your odds of getting away with something was going to be smaller. And certainly with that WNBA All-Star game, it's just like San Francisco with Gavin Newsom when they cleaned up. What was the big event they had out there? Yes, there was some communist or something came out there, wasn't it?
Kim Jong-un
was that? No, it was the Chinese guy, wasn't it? Wasn't it the
Xi Jinping? You're right.
And they cleaned up San Francisco. And this is not going to last. But we've reached a point in our society because we have allowed this to happen, that bad behavior, red flag behavior, people doing things that the normal person looks at and goes, that's wrong. We just let them get away with it. to the point where when it doesn't happen, we go, hey, great job, everyone. No one got blown away in the downtown, or the greatest economic driver of the entire state. That's what the 1 mile downtown area is. It is the economic driver for the entire state, the greatest economic driver in the entire state of Indiana, from Fort Wayne to Evansville to Gary to Jeffersonville. Shouldn't that be the norm? When violence happens in downtown, shouldn't we say that's totally unacceptable and we'll never allow it to happen again? But one weekend it doesn't. We go, hey, great, everyone.
Yep. So no curfew violations were reported. No children were brought to the city's safe and secure location. Chief Bailey, he thanked the parents, guardians, family members, and community partners, and he highlighted the effort as an example of positive community collaboration. It's also an example of the willingness to enforce existing laws.
Yes, but you get the government you deserve. You get the government you deserve at every level. And it's so heartbreaking because this country became a thing based on people willing to raise their hand and stand up and say, I will give everything because this is unacceptable. Think about the course of this country, Casey, from the inception, in which a bunch of farmers took down the greatest army in the world, and the people who spearheaded the effort, most of them lost everything. Their families, their fortunes, in some cases their lives, many cases their lives. I'm not talking about the rank and file people who had nothing to lose. I'm talking about the tippy-top people who were living lives of luxury. Look at the Civil War. Where literally brother was willing to fight brother over what was right, that this is unacceptable, and it was going on for 100 years, and it will stop now. And then you look at World War II. Look at the great sacrifices on Normandy, on D-Day, or storming the hill at Iwo Jima. Those people knew what they were getting into, but they said, good people have to stand up against tyranny. Good people have to stand up against oppression. Good people have to stand up against criminals. And it's not on some foreign shore. It's not fighting some other army. These people are in our backyard. They come in all...
They're in our front yard.
Yes. They don't hide it. They just do it because they get away with it. And we have normalized this as a society. Apathy. We have become so apathetic that we have normalized this behavior as a society to the point where when one weekend... And it only didn't happen one weekend because we put the full force of the state police and the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department.
Maybe that's the key. The Indiana State Police make it really clear that they're going to be present every weekend.
They can't be. You may have heard the state's finances are in a bit of trouble, Case.
Yeah.
You can't do this every weekend, and the bad guys know it. So they'll go away. They'll come back when the coast is clear. Indianapolis will remain a disgusting, rotting hellhole that is overrun with vagrants and homeless and panhandlers and dangerous, violent criminals. And that will be back to the status quo.
Certainly hope not. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
You know, sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What to expect from this week's weather. Cloudy and 73 degrees in the Circle City at the moment. 83 is the high today. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 9:30. If you're wondering about rain,
we don't think Indianapolis is going to see too much rain today. It looks like the main focus for rain will really be across far southwestern and southern Indiana through the day.
And that's exactly where that rain is showing up on radar right now. Jason Puma with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says heat index values, though, will be near or above 100 degrees from Wednesday through the end of the week. A senior Trump administration leader says a hostage deal with Hamas could be coming soon. In an interview with CNN's State of the Union this weekend, Special Envoy for Hostage Release Adam Bowler says Israel's military success against Iran has brought about renewed confidence.
I think post-Israel winning Iran, there's a new sense of ability to get something done.
Bowler's urging Hamas to take the current deal, which calls for the release of at least 10 remaining hostages in exchange for a path to peace. At the age of 45, Venus Williams is returning to tennis this week. The 7-time Grand Slam champion has accepted a wild card berth for the DC Open. She hasn't played in a tournament since last year's Miami Open. Williams is scheduled to play a singles match against Peyton Stearns tomorrow. And your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Everything coming up green so far. The Dow is up 79 points to 44,621. The S&P 500 is up 8 points to 6342. And the NASDAQ is up 14 points to 23,238. I'm Sean Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
What if one day could change the trajectory of your life? A sharpening of character, a challenge to grow deeper, stand stronger, and lead better in faith, family, and purpose. At the Life Church Men's Event on Saturday, August 2nd, you'll hear raw truth from men who've been through the fire. You'll worship, connect, and leave with more than inspiration. You'll leave with a battle plan. Show up, lean in, let God do the rest. Register at lifechurchin.com.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing.
I don't have any cravings.
You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. No irritability, no cravings, because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 HRV LX all-wheel drive for $329 a month and $0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake.
Visit us off State Road 37 for special pricing during our summer sales event. With approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. All fees due at signing. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends July 31st. See dealer for details.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Hey, question.
What's that?
At this point, is there anything you could learn about your government and the people in it that would surprise you?
No. Or that I wouldn't question.
Yeah, like at this point, things that 25 years ago were just deemed out and out just crazy conspiracies. I don't think much of it seems too far out there.
No.
Anymore.
No.
What we have seen on full display, I mean, really the past 10 years. But let's just, for the sake of brevity, let's narrow it down to the past 5 years. The COVID, the stuff we learn, things that have come out, things that are clearly still being hidden, and then just move forward. Because if you think about how they being the world order, altered society from 2020 on, and look at where we are at in this country and in this world today, and how your buying power has been diluted, the growth and power of government, the stranglehold that they have taken on your finances. Just look at the taxes on your property here in the state of Indiana, and how COVID itself and the magical money printing factory being turned on and interest rates being cut to next to nothing, how that drove up the price of property, which has not been undone, which continues to go forward. And then what that has done to just that one issue. Then we can do the price of food. We can do the price of gas. We can do the price of everything. Everybody got out better except for you. Megacorp's doing fine. The tippy top, the billionaires doing great. Government's doing awesome. Who's doing horrible?
Yeah.
You are doing horrible.
Yeah.
You're the one who keeps getting screwed. Look at how that led to the election of Joe Biden, and look at what that brought about in terms of a flood of people into this country, both legally and illegally. Look at how that changed the landscape. Look at when you look around your communities, how they're looking, how they're changing. The flood of these HB1 workers coming into this country. Look at who's getting rich. Look at who's moving forward. We are having this conversation, and it's not a Democrat or Republican conversation. It's a us versus them conversation. What are we having in a Republican state right now? A conversation about how these foreign companies are flooding foreign workers in. They're building these data centers. They're building these mega buildings that are sucking all this power, and you got to pay for it.
Right, exactly. Your utility rate is going to go up because of them.
All of this to tell you that I don't think there's anything you're going to learn at this point that should surprise you. And it brings us to this thing with Tulsi Gabbard and Obama.
Yeah, so Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, she released over 100 classified documents on Friday, and they claim to show overwhelming evidence of an Obama-era conspiracy to trigger the Trump-Russia collusion investigation.
So
she's calling the revelations historic.
But it's not. We already knew it. The Steele dossier thing has been totally disproven, totally made up. It's been proven. Now Trump, how do you word it? They're tapping my wires. That's such an old man way to, like, that's not how they do it anymore. It's not a,
they spied on his campaign.
It's not a 1970s espionage movie. But, right, we've known for years that Obama was spying. Our government, Democrat and Republican, is run by people who hate you.
So the documents implicate not just Obama, but also some former senior officials like James Clapper, John Brennan, and James Comey, which should surprise nobody. Also Susan Rice, a deep state.
Yeah.
And the thing is with these people, they outlast presidents. They don't care. They'll just wait it out.
But bring it close to home. It's easy to say Obama, Obama, Obama. Of course, Obama. Yes, Obama, right? But look at, let's go to the president before him, Bush. How could you have been that wrong about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq?
Oh, they weren't wrong, Rob. They just used it as an excuse.
A country that had nothing to do with the 9/11 attack. Of all the people, why didn't we go to Saudi Arabia? That's where the guys were from. Convenient we didn't go there next. Where'd we go? Iraq. Mm-hmm. And what happened? How much did we end up spending in Iraq? Billions upon billions of dollars enriching the tippy-top military-industrial complex people. Your friends, your neighbors gave their lives. You paid the tab. Everybody got okay. Bring it close to home. Let's talk about right here in our own backyard. Look at what we're learning about the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, where that money's going. Hundreds of millions of dollars being taken from you and given to the tippy-top people, paying for tickets to ball games, going to these corporations and these individuals. Like, why? And at this point, how could you be surprised about anything? But it comes back to how we started the show, what we're just talking about with downtown Indianapolis. That until the people get mad enough to do something about it, they're going to keep doing it. In Washington, in Indianapolis, in our state government, in the federal government, they're going to keep doing this stuff because they don't believe you'll do anything about it.
Tulsi Gabbard said she's going to be releasing more files this week on the plot against Trump.
But there's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published, which contained a manufactured intelligence document. It's worse than even politicization of intelligence. It was manufactured intelligence that sought to achieve President Obama and his team's objective, which was undermining President Trump's presidency and subverting the will of the American people. So yes, next week we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it.
So President Trump retweeting that and amplifying Tulsi's voice even more. It's almost like he's baiting Barack Obama to comment on it.
But so what?
Picking a fight.
Nothing's going to happen to Obama, just like nothing happened to Biden. The Republicans had full control. They did nothing. Nobody fears any repercussion. Nobody fears any repercussion at the federal level. Nobody fears any repercussion at the state level. And for the most part, they don't even fear repercussion at the local level. Look, I'm sorry, right? This is the reality of it. I've been around these people. I've spent the past 15 years of my life fully engrossed. I remember this, and it's crazy the things you remember. My old man spent 20 years of his life dealing with the worst people imaginable. Like the most dangerous, violent people who were still, for whatever reason, allowed to re-enter society. And many of them, he had them re-exit society, right? Because they were still dangerous and violent. And so if anybody knew how to spot a criminal, it was my old man. And I remember when I told him the day I told him I was going to run for public office, he goes, you better be ready. Because the people you're dealing with there are worse than the people I dealt with every day. They just do it with suits instead of guns, and they use the system to keep themselves out of prison. And they're smart enough and shady enough, unlike the people I dealt with, they're not stupid enough most times get caught, because putting all the dots together and figuring out how it all works, that's a big old complex thing to do. And I remember like laughing at that when he said that, because I knew the people he used to deal with. And now, 15 years later, I look at it and I say, he was right.
Yeah.
It's the same people, except these guys roam free and these guys are behind bars.
It's just a different weapon. That's all.
Absolutely. And in a weird way, these people are worse because at least the criminals,
they try and hide it.
You catch them, you throw them in the pokey, They're removed from decent society. These people, they get to tell you what to do. They get to lord over you. They get to take from you. They get to abuse you every single day. And we just sit there and go, well, maybe if we elect somebody else, it'll be different this time.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Coming up on the Hammer and Nigel show, how to go for WNBA All-Star Weekend here in Indy, plus Guy Relford in for Hammer Monday Gun Day, 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and security edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Home sales activity is good, not great. So many homes, if improperly marketed, are sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent will cost you time and money. Hire the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast. The expert realtor I recommend is Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried with the challenging market, you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what John in Greencastle had to say about working with Mark Dietl. I just bought a home in Greencastle. Shortly after, my son moved to Fishers, which left me an hour away from family and 45 minutes from work. A big mistake, and I felt stuck since I had been in the home less than a year. I asked the Mark Dietl team for help, and they delivered big. My home sold in 14 days for the price I needed so I could move closer to family and work. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, Dietel.com.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 HRV LX all-wheel drive for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake.
Visit us off State Road 37 for special pricing during our summer sales event. With approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. All fees due at signing. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends July 31st. See dealer for details.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text Rocky to 369-369. That's ROCKY to 369-369. Rocky to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Breaking news updates, local headlines, and statewide coverage are always available at WIBC.com. When the news moves fast, we will too. Stay in the know while you're on the go with WIBC.com.
Okay, can you actually be too good at something? And can it harm the thing that you do?
So much winning. Is that what you mean?
I was pondering this over the weekend. So everybody knows it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. And everybody knows I'm a massive golf fan. Mm-hmm. And Scotty Scheffler, who is the best golfer since Tiger Woods. He is dominating the game of golf like no person has since Tiger Woods won the British Open over the weekend. And he ran away with the tournament. It was never in any doubt. And he is Tiger level because what Tiger used to do, like if you would look at many of the scores of a tournament Tiger was in, there would be Tiger's final score, and then there would be everybody else who had this great tournament behind him. So he'd be like 5 shots ahead of everybody else, and there's this super tight, 5 guys within 1 shot of each other behind Tiger Woods. But because he was winning by so much, it made it oftentimes not interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are here again with Scottie Scheffler because he's doing the same thing. However, unlike Tiger had a life force about him that you wanted to see it because he was entertaining. He was a draw. He would do things, and part of it, I think, was because he was black in a sport that had been dominated by whites for so many years. I think he sort of became like this citizen of the world type of thing. He opened the game up to so many new people. Scottie Scheffler, and he's a phenomenal human being. He's a great dad. He's a great Christian man. He gives this, we played it last week, this thing where he's like, golf is just sort of a distant second to me. That's not what life is all about. That's all wonderful stuff. He's boring. He's boring to watch. You're never going to see him snap a club. You're never going to see him get into it with the fan. You're never going to see him pull a John Daly and hit 9 balls in the water, walk off the course. And unlike Tiger, he very rarely ever hits a bad shot. Part of Tiger's charm was he did some horrible shot,
but he'd make it up.
And then he'd make it up and you go, how the heck did he do that?
Right. Well, we talked about this when the Pacers were in the playoffs. Would you rather have a close game that's a nail biter, or would you rather have a runaway?
Yeah.
And I was saying, I'd rather have a nail biter. That's some more entertaining. And you were saying, no, I'd rather have the runaway so I can relax and just enjoy. You had that with Scottie Scheffler.
Only if you bet on him, though. It's not your team. We're not talking about the Pacers here.
Well, you should have known to bet on Scottie Scheffler.
Here, so this is my question, is can somebody be so good at something that it's no longer interesting to watch? Like, how do you explain to somebody, hey, historically you're seeing something that's rarefied air and great that you probably won't see ever again? But how do you, to the average person, tell them, hey, 20 years from now, you're going to really appreciate watching this?
Right.
When in the moment, it's just some guy lapping the field.
But he makes it look easy. That's what it is.
He does. However, I will say this, and this is what's not good for the sport. And golf has not had, and it's sort of the Caitlyn Clark thing, right? Like Tiger Woods, after the age of 32, he suffered a serious leg injury, and then a year later, his wife allegedly took like a 6-iron to the back of his automobile, and he was never the same ever again. And golf has never recovered. You need drama in sport. You need conflict in sport. You need an unknown in sport. I'm about as big a golf fan. I mean, there are people who are bigger golf fans than me, but compared to a regular person, I went to bed the final 2 hours. My kid had gone down for a nap, and I said, I have 2 options. I can stay awake and watch this runaway, or I can get a rare 2 hours of sleep. And 2 hours of sleep won the day, Casey.
Yeah, because it wasn't close. Well, now he only needs the U.S. Open victory to complete the career Grand Slam. I thought did you see the stat? You probably knew this already. It's been all the PGA Tour guys that are winning all the majors. None of the LIV guys are.
Well, yeah, the one was DeChambeau, won the U.S. Open last year, and I think LIV is probably, I know it's got a big event coming up here in a few months, but I think the long-term sustainability of LIV is going out the window. They are basically saying a bunch of these older guys, they're not going to renew these massive contracts. We've kind of tried this. Their goal is to force a merger with the PGA Tour. I don't think that's going to happen. But I struggle with this. This show is basically just about me airing my life's struggles to tens of thousands of people every day. I struggle with this because I didn't appreciate Tiger as a kid because it was boring. And every week he'd win. It was like, man, I want to see somebody fight with this dude. I want to see, I want to see the unknown guy win. And then 20 years later, I'm like, man, I should appreciate that more. And now here I am at 40, and Scottie Scheffler's doing the same thing. And I'm like, man, I want to see somebody stick it to this guy, which I hate because he's a really good dude. And now 20 years from now, as an old man, I'm going to be like, I should have appreciated that more.
Scottie Scheffler's son is the one who stole the show and offered up all the entertainment.
Every time I see that kid, he has a 1-year-old son who comes, they run out on the course every time he wins a tournament. And I'm like, I think, does it make me a bad person? I'm like, how much is that kid going to inherit? And then I inevitably look at Olivia and say, sorry for your middle-class existence. Wish Daddy had had more talent.
Well, maybe you need to start her early on the golf course. She can make her own money.
I'll be that dad. You should have been better.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Are you struggling with bad feet? Hi, this is Phoebe, and at the Good Feet store, we hear a lot about foot, knee, hip, and back pain. I'd like you to hear what Kelsey, a kinesiologist, has to say about the Good Feet Arch Support System.
As an exercise specialist, I've seen all kinds of things that people try to put in their shoes to get out of pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that they support all 4 arches in the foot.
So, did you know you had 4 arches in each foot? Most shoes and inserts only support 1. Maybe that's the reason all the remedies you've tried in the past just didn't work.
When the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy, you're gonna feel better. Being able to move freely and out of pain means everything to me, and good movement starts with the feet.
We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Learn more at goodfeet.com. Good Feet Arch Supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free personalized fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome. Helping people live pain-free 2 feet at a time.
It's summer in Indiana, and I'm betting the floors in your home are dirtier than the infield the day after the 500. I'm also guessing they probably appreciate a good cleaning. Hi, this is Denny Smith, and there is no better go-to resource for cleaning those floors than Zero-Res. They can handle virtually every surface in your home. Carpets, tile and grout, hardwood, laminate, stone, upholstery, rugs, and even your air ducts. Before we get any deeper into summer, you can get 3 rooms Zero-Resified and get 1 room free and $50 off air duct cleaning too. Zero-Res means zero residue, and it's in the water they use. The unique ZR water uses no soap, no harsh chemicals, and leaves no residue, just healthy, fresh surfaces. Zero-Res cleans our floors, and I'll tell you that it is simply amazing, and it works. But don't take my word for it. Just check out the 4,900 5-star Google reviews. Call now. Mention WIBC. When you get 3 rooms cleaned, you get 1 room for free and $50 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141 or ZeroResIndy.com.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out a variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why do so many basement companies want half the money up front? Could it be because it's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they don't ask for a deposit until the job is done and you're completely satisfied. They even start with a free inspection to ensure you know exactly what your home needs without the guesswork. With over 35 years experience, they've proven that trust is built on results, not deposits. Michaelis, building trust beneath your feet. Visit michaeliscorp.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what you can expect from the Indiana weather this week, what the status looks like for injured Indiana Fever guard Caitlyn Clark with another game planned for around the corner, and a concert with some bands you might know well. Those stories and much more coming up after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 10 o'clock.
He just got a visit in the hospital.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A Border Patrol officer who was shot and wounded while off duty Saturday night in New York City just met with the head of Homeland Security.
Make no mistake, this officer is in the hospital today fighting for his life because of the policies of the mayor of this city.
Secretary Kristi Noem also blames the Biden administration, saying it happened during a robbery attempt, and the suspect, who was wounded when the officer fired back, was allowed into the U.S. illegally back in 2023.
Miguel Francisco Moro Nunez is and has a rap sheet that is a mile long. He was arrested. He was charged with grand larceny and also assault. The state of Massachusetts has an active warrant out for him for armed robbery with a firearm.
Harvard's lawsuit's back in court at a hearing this morning in Boston as the university attempts to claw back nearly $3 billion in federal money it claims was unlawfully frozen as the Trump administration demands Harvard make policy changes, accusing the university of allowing anti-Semitism to flourish on campus. Texas lawmakers get back to work today.
In a special 30-day legislative session, Texas lawmakers are expected to address the handling of the catastrophic July 4th floods in Hill Country that killed more than 130 people.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. The number of those still unaccounted for was revised way lower over the weekend, down to just 3. A disaster in Bangladesh. A fighter jet on a training mission crashed into a school, killing at least 19 people, injuring more than 100.
It came down at the Milestone School and College in the capital, Dhaka, attended by youngsters from elementary to 12th grade. The plane appears to have smashed into the side of a building. Students at the time were taking tests or attending regular classes. At the scene, panicked parents have been arriving to find their kids, with some helping out rescue work.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. More Alaska Airlines passengers dealing with flight cancellations and delays. That number up to more than 150 as Alaska recovers from an IT outage late last night. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's looking at several things. You've got a cloudy sky, and it's 73 degrees in the Circle City with wind gusts up to 14 miles an hour at times. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:02. The big thing to watch out for in Indiana this week is the heat, though, says Jason Puma at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
Anytime you get heat index values up that high, people are more susceptible to heat-related illnesses. If you do have to be outdoors at those times, we recommend you take frequent breaks.
Puma says there will be some scattered rainfall this week as well, but that's mostly in southern Indiana. A fatal crash this morning just before 9 o'clock on the northeast side of Indianapolis. IMPD says it happened in the area of I-70 and North Post Road, and their fatal crash team is investigating. The average price for gas across Indiana is $3.15 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's up 20 cents from this time last week. The cheapest gas in the state is in Indianapolis, though, at $2.69. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White says there's both good news and bad news to report on Fever guard Caitlyn Clark.
But, I think she's progressing. I think that we're continuing to address, everything that needs to be addressed. She's going to see some doctors and get some more tests run early in the week. I don't expect her to be available on Tuesday.
That's White speaking on Sunday. Clark did not play in either the WNBA All-Star game or the three-point contest this past weekend as she recovers from a groin injury. Tip-off between the Liberty and the Fever is at 8 o'clock Tuesday night in New York. Radio coverage on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. And you might call this a concert for a cause. Johnette Cruz reports.
The Indy Public Foundation announced Monday the return of its annual Frontline event set for Friday, October 10th at the Everwise Amphitheater. This year, the concert is to benefit Indy's first responders and will feature 2 legendary rock bands, Kansas and Jefferson Starship. Fans can expect hits like Carry On Wayward Son and We Built This City as they celebrate local heroes from police and firefighters to EMTs. Before the concert, a tactical tailgate will offer a unique family-friendly chance to meet first responders and explore their equipment. Tickets go on sale this Friday, July 25th at 10 a.m. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. It's 10:04. Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
The heat outside does not have to be the heat inside. Masters Heating and Cooling is here to help. I use Masters Heating and Cooling in my home. David, the general manager, and the entire Masters team take care of my family. They've replaced parts of my system, serviced parts of my system, and everything is running in tip-top condition. My house feels amazing. Right now, you can get $1,000 off a new AC system. We're talking about a full system replacement here. $100 off electric, $250 off hybrid, and $500 off tankless water heaters. Talk Talk to Masters Heating and Cooling today. They have 0% financing for up to 60 months with qualified system purchases. Terms and conditions for all offers. Restrictions apply. Call for details. Masters Heating and Cooling. They'll take care of your HVAC and help you out 24/7. Call 317-567-9505. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-567-9505. Masters Heating and Cooling. 567-9505 or online at mastersindy.com. That's mastersindy.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Am I still a bad guy for wanting all the information on Epstein?
Well, you're probably a bad guy no matter what you do. I mean, if we were to take a poll, we kind of do with the I love Rob Kendall and I hate Rob Kendall t-shirts, right?
Yeah, this is what's fascinating to me is with the Trump Epstein stuff, and we've got into this before, and he can't, the problem for Trump now is he can't unpivot out of it. He can't unpivot out of essentially making any person who demands to know the truth some sort of Bond villain, some sort of sucker who's been roped in by the Democrats. Even if he releases all the information, first of all, now they're saying it's going to take forever to get that grand jury stuff unsealed, even if they can ever do it. But even if he does, nobody's going to believe anything that comes out that's the whole thing, that's all there is. And you can't. Your husband and I were having a conversation at my daughter's birthday party, and he was like, that's one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard. I said, I live my life now, my personal life, by the following creed. What do I want my life to look like 30 minutes from now? And no matter what in my now, here, all bets are off, right? Like, because in 3 hours, I can shut it off and go home, and I'll see you in 21 hours. Yeah. But in my personal life, and this is part of getting older, and he's like, I'm going to use this going forward. I said, Jim, it will make your life much better.
Thanks.
Yeah, so if you've seen a new tone from your husband, Casey, that's because he's adopted this principle of what do I want my life to look like 30 minutes from now? That means before I say or do anything, I just play that in my head.
Yeah.
And sometimes my wife will say to me, why aren't you more angry about fill in the blank? And I can't tell her that I'm processing in my head how to make my life look the best that it possibly can 30 minutes from now. So I'm being very selective on the words that I'm about to use. But in this case, with Trump, your life 30 minutes from now always looks like you think I'm a bad guy for simply demanding the information that you promised to give me.
Yeah, he did reiterate on social media that people who want to know everything are troublemakers and radical left lunatics. But here's the thing. You've got on one side him saying release everything that the Tulsi Gabbard is calling for, right? The release of the Obama era files. But then on the other side, he's saying, you know what, nothing is going to be good enough in regards to the Epstein files.
But we don't.
So which one is it? We want all the info or we don't?
Yeah, and something would be good enough. Give us what you promised. That would be good enough. The information. The information. This is so simple. And when somebody fights simplicity, when somebody is against giving you the most basic of stuff, when somebody pushes back on something that they've promised to do, that's gaslighting. When you suddenly become the bad guy for simply saying, does this sound familiar, Casey, with someone in our government? Hey, you ran and you promised to do something. Anyone come to mind here? You ran and promised to be this. Now you're not being that. And now you've turned me into the bad guy for simply saying,
you said you were going to do this.
Yeah, if you didn't want to smoke, why'd you run?
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar about anybody?
Well, it could be, I know who you're specifically talking about, but you could apply that to a lot of people.
Right. And so with Trump, he's doing exactly that. All we're simply saying is, this is a massive issue, human sex trafficking, the idea of little kids being abused, or even adults. Obviously, we're not saying that's okay either. We're focusing specifically because this allegedly involves minor girls, people who have in some cases told their stories about how their lives were ruined by this. We want to know who the people were. And we believe, Mr. President, that you know who the people were. And we're simply asking you, as concerned citizens of this nation who give a damn about little kids being abused, that you let us know the information on who the bad guys are.
So anything could have been released before now. It's not even up to the Trump administration. The Biden administration could have released what they wanted. They didn't want to. Nobody wanted to deal with any of this.
So nobody believes, that's a great point. Nobody believes Democrats are good guys in all of this. You know, Trump's like, they're being used. They're using them. Of course they are. But you've allowed them to, Mr. President. You've allowed the Democrats to use you by making these grandiose statements on the campaign trail, including indicting Bill Clinton, basically. And so now you have opened yourself up politically that these people, of course they don't care. Of course they're protecting people the same way you are. But you have given them that opportunity by saying, I will be different, I will be bigger, I will be better, I will do this thing. And so much of the love of Trump is the belief that he is not beholden to anyone. He's his own man. He's anti-establishment. Well, this seems pretty establishment, and it seems pretty beholden to someone or something.
Listen to this back and forth. This happened on CNN. This is between Jake Tapper and Amy Klobuchar.
But it's true that the president says there, Democrats didn't really seem to do anything about the Epstein files throughout the 4 years of the Biden administration. I mean, should you have? You sit on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Marsha Blackburn for years has been trying to get flight records and other information about Epstein released, and she seems to have been the only one on that committee trying to do so.
So the president blaming Democrats for this disaster, Jake, is like that CEO that got caught on camera blaming Coldplay, okay? Like, this is his making.
She's equating human sex trafficking of little kids, potentially minor girls, on an island somewhere over potentially decades to two consenting adults having an affair and getting caught on camera? Two grown-ass people who, while, yeah, stupid decision and, well, you got caught, but those are two adults making adult choices in a consensual relationship. That is gross. That she's trying to be hip.
She's trying to sound relevant.
And you make a statement like that.
So you've got the representative from Tennessee, Tim Burchett. He's calling for the DOJ to release all the evidence from the files. And he said a growing number of Republicans are now demanding transparency. He was also saying that Pam Bondi initially blundered all of the messaging about this and was taking advice from the wrong people.
I'm sorry, you have been very critical of Pam Bondi during this, and the president said he thinks she's handled it well. So where is the disconnect there? And do you think she should resign?
I think her communication with us early on was not as good. I mean, the binder, for instance, that she put out, I was very excited about that, but then I found the contents of it. I think it was her limited knowledge and her and taking advice from the wrong people, which you do a lot of in Washington. There's plenty of people to give you advice, but when it turns out not good, you turn around and they're nowhere to be found. And I think that's what she did in the beginning. I think if she turns the corner, I have a saying, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. If she finishes strong on this, then I'm all for it. I'm sure the learning curve is steep, and I think she blundered in the beginning. I really do, as most Americans do, because that white notebook that those young folks, those influencers walked out with, I thought that was it. And then when I started digging into it, it was stuff that I like my postings on Twitter, or X, but that's about the limit of my computer knowledge. But even I could find those things on the internet that were already out there. So I think they blundered in the beginning, but I think they're going to finish strong.
He went on to say that D.C. doesn't give up its secrets very easily.
So tomorrow we are scheduled to have friend of the show. He's attorney to the stars. Stephen P. New is going to be on with us. And Stephen has represented many high-profile celebrities and various, almost all of them, civil-type litigations over the years. And we're going to talk about legally what the ramifications would be about a variety of things with the president just releasing all the information. And one of the things I want to ask him is, they have to have access. The Department of Justice put together a case that went in front of the grand jury, unless they're going to admit that's been deleted, whether the court has it or not, what would happen if they just said, here it is?
Right.
What would the court, I want to ask him tomorrow, would the court come out and go, you're all going to prison because you exposed pedophiles and human sex traffickers? Like, I'm going to ask him tomorrow, what would be the ramification of doing that? That will be a very interesting conversation with Stephen P. New tomorrow.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Now, the idea of Uber goes against everything we were taught as kids, though.
What's that?
Never get into a car with a stranger.
But there's
now
betting.
we pay for it. We're literally paying the stranger to take us somewhere.
But at least there's some sort of vetting. You know the name of the person that's coming.
So you'll know your kidnapper. It's like having an alarm on your car. Great, I can hear it being stolen.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Watching your parents get older is something you never get used to. You know it's going to happen, but it still doesn't seem right, especially when the time comes to consider moving a parent into a nursing home. It's a hard decision for you and them, and when that's the right choice, there's the added stress of what to do with the house. Simple Quarters understands and can help relieve some of that stress. They're a Christian company who is compassionate about what you and your parent are going through. They can help with the logistics of selling the home. They'll buy it as is, no need for repairs, cleaning, staging, or showings. No catch. It's one less thing for you to worry about. Simple Quarters, a Christian company dedicated to helping families through life's transitions. If you're facing the challenge of selling a home due to a loved one moving into an assisted living or nursing home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Or go to simplequarters.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Pat Sullivan here with an offer for my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling that you don't want to miss. For a limited time, Hope Plumbing will buy back your old air conditioning unit for up to $1,500 with the purchase of a complete heating and cooling system. It's time to call them if you're hot. Don't wait for the next heat wave to be caught sweating at home. Act now before the offer ends. Stay cool and call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Who is in charge of what in the state?
Good question.
We need the Bobs from Office Space.
Tell me what it is you do here.
To come in and ask all the various statewide office holders what you do here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you read me some sort of headline.
Oh, yeah. The governor is going to be the featured speaker at the Indiana Ag Policy Summit, which is coming up on Wednesday, July 30th.
Okay, so the Indiana Ag Policy Summit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so couple things. One, what is our ag policy other than the state gobbling up as much premium farmland as they can and then facilitating sweetheart real estate deals to mega corporations who use a bunch of our power and water? What is our ag policy in Indiana other than that?
Maybe that is it.
Braun's going to be just like, any of y'all want to come together on some sort of sweet deal. We got data centers out the wazoo looking to buy that. You get in touch with us. We'll take care of that for you. What is the Indiana ag policy now?
Keep on making money.
Because
$7.4 billion in exports.
Because I know they had a really good ag deal that Braun allowed to get squashed as part of the property tax debacle there at the end of the session. So I know looking out for the farmers is not the ag policy. So that's my first question. What is Indiana's actual ag policy? Does Braun even know? But two, why is Braun giving the speech? Because per the state government flow chart, the lieutenant governor is supposed to be in charge of agriculture.
That is one of the agencies that he oversees, right?
It's the only two they didn't take away from him, right? It was ag and okra. And we already know there's a guy out there. We read the big press release. There's a guy doing okra now. So if Braun's in charge of ag, did I miss the press release? He seems to be doing all the ag deals, all the ag speaking, all the ag stuff. And why isn't the lieutenant governor out going, hey, that's my job?
That's my job. Maybe the governor doesn't have confidence in him doing his job. It is a big deal for the state. I mean, like I mentioned, $7.4 billion in exports. Indiana Ag supports over 46,000 jobs across the state. So it is a big deal for the great state of Indiana.
So I'm not trying to be facetious when I ask this. Whose job is what? Because for years, under numerous lieutenant governors, anything related with ag, Suzanne Crouch, Skillman, Ellspermann, they've all handled the ag portion, the speaking engagements, to blah, blah, blah. And now it's just Braun front and center. When somebody asked in the YouTube chat, when is the last time I spoke to Micah? That day on air. That is the last time I spoke to Micah. And I don't mind, we've told people this before, Micah will be invited back on this program when he does something worth talking about. From governing. Not staging fights with crazy people in Boone County, not going to candy stores, not going to the Pizza King, not going to photo op events in Washington, D.C. When Micah does something for you in terms of governing, we will invite him on and let him talk about it again. I have not said a word to Micah since that day on air. And you let him know that, right? We gave that to you, right? That your job was to, how'd that go?
It was fine.
Yeah, we told him. We said, when you do something worth talking about in terms of governing for the people, what does the guy do all day?
He's got a goal to visit all the counties.
For what?
To touch base with the
voters. And why doesn't Braun just grow a pair and say, this guy was such an incompetent buffoon, we had to take everything from him, and his job now is just to wander the halls?
You're asking the guy who stood in front of 1,000 people at the State House, rolled up his sleeves and said, fight, 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 who then rolled over to the legislature. You're saying he's the one who's going to grow a pair?
I just want to know if Braun is in charge.
We're pairless over there.
That's fine. If Braun is in charge of agriculture now, okay. If Braun is in charge of okra now, okay. State's probably going to be better served for that, even as much as Braun will probably screw it up.
Yeah, well, Braun reaffirmed his commitment to supporting Hoosier farmers, and he emphasized the importance of keeping farms and rural communities strong. Now, Don Lamb, who's the director of the Indiana State Department of Agriculture, he's going to provide an update of opportunities for farmers at this event, which again, Wednesday, July 30th at the Boone County Fairgrounds.
Time out. Who?
Don Lamb.
You mean the same guy who's now on the IEDC board?
Yes, that guy.
How is that not a direct conflict that the guy's, well, I mean, is he the head of ag? Who is running ag in this state?
Don Lamb is the director of the Indiana State Department of Agriculture.
So his job is to protect the farmers and fight for the farmers, but he's also on the IDC board, which is to give money away to businesses, and the IDC has been the facilitator of massive strong-arming farmers out of their property. These seem to be in conflict with each other.
Yeah, they do seem to be at odds, don't they?
And why? The lieutenant governor has to have an opinion on this. Whatever it is great. Why doesn't he say it? Is he in favor of being usurped by the governor? Is he in favor of the governor now doing things that previous lieutenant governors have been doing? Does he agree with what Braun is saying? Does he agree? I mean, he's come out and said, I guess he thinks it's wonderful that the advocate for the farmers is on the IEDC board. Who's doing what? Right? Like that's the most basic part of any corporation. If Braun is in charge of ag now, if he makes the calls, if he's calling the shit, great. Just let us know.
It seems that Braun is putting himself in charge of ag. Now, Susan Stroud is going to be there.
Who?
She's a market analyst and founder of No Bull. And she's
founder of what?
No Bull.
Bull, B-U-L-L?
Correct.
Well, she's in the wrong place. No Bull had anything to do with Indiana government.
She is going to offer insights on the farm economy, focusing on policy changes and tariffs at this event. July 30th, Boone County Fairgrounds, Indiana Ag Policy Summit.
Can you imagine, like as you're driving down the road right now, can you imagine if your company was run the way we're running our state right now? Hey, who's in charge of widgets? Well, on paper, it's Larry, but Sam seems to be just making all the calls now. Well, who do I talk to? I have a question about the widgets. Well, it is Larry on paper, but Sam seems to be making all the calls now. Well, who do I talk to about the widgets? Well, it is Larry on paper, but Sam, there's no business that's run this way. For Mr. Great Business Guy, why doesn't Braun just come out and say it? The state would have so much more confidence and clarity in saying, for whatever reason, this guy wasn't capable of doing the job, or I don't like the way he was doing the job, or I don't have confidence in him doing the job, so I'm taking over now.
Right. Maybe it's a conflict, a scheduling conflict. Like maybe
candy stores.
The lieutenant governor was not available on July 30th. He had a previous engagement.
Drum solos.
I mean, we've
at the
heard
music
that
store.
before from our state elected officials.
Jumping out of airplanes, maybe another airplane to jump out of. Photo op at the Pizza King. Maybe at a county fair to visit.
Program's going to end at 12:30. It'll be followed by lunch and then networking with lawmakers.
Maybe there was another seminar in Washington, D.C. I don't know. Am I a bad guy for just saying I just want to know whatever the structure is of the government that I pay for? I just want to know.
They're not following their own organizational
mostly for Kevin's sake, because Kevin had mentioned over the weekend he was considering starting a small family farm in his backyard.
A gentleman farmer.
And he really knows who he
Couple tomato plants.
Tomatoes, potatoes, all of it.
All right. One guy who always speaks very clearly is the oil guy, Bill Herrick. We have not had Bill on in quite a while, and we thought, well, with all the changing with the tariffs and the Trump administration and
how are our oil reserves?
We got the fighting in Iran, and so we said, let's have the oil guy. Bill Herrick from Midwest Energy Partners will be with us next to give us everything you need to know about the price of gas.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
If you think it's humid now, just you wait. You got 76 degrees and cloudy skies in the Circle City with rain falling in southern Indiana. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 10:31. The humidity in Indiana is only going to get worse from here.
The big thing that's going to happen during the middle of the week is we're going to see much more humid conditions across central Indiana.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there will be minimal chances of rain during that time. Inaction by politicians are what led to an off-duty Border Patrol officer being shot in Manhattan Saturday night. That was the message from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem today.
Because of the policies of the mayor of the city and the city council and the people that were in charge of keeping the public safe, they refused to do so, and now we have the situation on our hand where someone who has dedicated their lives to protecting the public is now fighting for his own.
An illegal immigrant named Miguel Francisco Nunez was taken into custody. A second suspect has also been detained. The Border Patrol officer is badly hurt but alive. The FIFA World Cup final will be played about a year from now at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. New York City Mayor Eric Adams was part of the FIFA World Cup New York host Jersey committee to ring the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange this morning to kick off a one-year countdown until the World Cup final. MetLife Stadium will host 8 matches during the tournament. It's estimated there will be 1 million visitors in the New York, New Jersey area for the World Cup. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, or weight gain. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all or your money back. Seminar 8 p.m. on Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Or 2 p.m. on Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Registration 30 minutes before seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Buying a diamond has changed. There are mined and lab-grown diamonds. Pierce Jewelers carries both. Pierce can educate you and save your hard-earned money. Shop local. Shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers.
Casey, it's been a while since we've checked in on what's going on with the price of gas.
Yeah, you know what? I was just thinking about this the other day because I can remember filling up a year and a half ago and it would cost me $50. It's not quite there, but I'm wondering, will it get back to that level? I certainly hope not.
Yeah, and lucky for us, when it comes to oil, when it comes to gas, when it comes to going on with what's going on with your pocketbook, we got a guy.
We got a guy.
His name is Bill Herrick. We have dubbed him the oil guy. He joins us now. Bill Herrick, hello.
Good morning, guys. How you do?
All right, so you've got a whole bunch of good info for us, but I want to start with, because you run a company called Midwest Energy Partners.
Yes.
And you get oil out of the ground. That's what
correct.
you do. That's why you drive an automobile plated in gold. You live on a 93-acre complex. Yes. You're wealthy beyond your wildest dreams.
Right.
But what has been going on with, let's just start with oil, since Trump took office?
Okay. Great question. Well, you know, when
when he got in office, oil was right at $80 a barrel.
Is that good? Is that bad?
That was good, actually.
Good for you or good for me?
Gasoline at the time was about $3.25.
Yeah.
So, and then he mentioned the tariff word, and the whole world started going in shock, thinking the world economy was going to crash. And so prices went down into the upper 50s. And
that was good for me.
And gasoline, I think, went down to about $2.85 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then we bombed Iran, and prices shot back up in the mid-70s, oil did. And then and now gasoline, kind of started going back up. And then once they realized that the world wasn't going to have World War III, oil prices have gone back down to the 60s, and we're still bouncing around this $3, $3.25 gas price. So,
okay, I hate this because you seem like such a wonderful guy, but what's good for me is bad for you. So I really need you to fail, right? Because you obviously make money the higher the oil prices.
Yeah, well, so Mike, here's a couple things I always do. I do a lot of research for your show, believe it or not, because I want to educate your listeners, even though they're probably, when they hear me, they want to turn the radio off. But one thing I found out was that actually the worldwide demand for oil has increased by 1% every year going back to the year 2000. So every year, demand for oil has gone up 1%.
So we'd be up to, public school math tells me, like 25%.
So right, very good. That's very good. And so it's the question for me more is than anything else is demand is going to always be there. It's a question more of supply. And right now we're doing about 13.5 million barrels a day in the United States. But we are with the number of well drills that we're currently operating right now is down to the low 400s, and that's the lowest level it's been since 2021. So the bottom line is we're not drilling new wells. I've been drilling.
Why not?
We don't have, the price isn't good. We're like I said, we're in the 60s. We really need to have $75 to $85 oil to drill new wells. And,
because you're just not going to get a return on your investment?
We're not going to get the return we need for our investors. The other independents aren't going to get the return they need to pay their costs. And, like everything else, guys, our costs have gone up through the roof. So, to drill a well today is probably 25% more expensive than it was 3 years ago.
I have so many questions about that. So Bill Herrick is our guest. He's our oil guy, Midwest Energy Partners. That's his company. If he's doing well, you're doing bad. That's what we like to say. And we love Bill. He's totally honest about that. Why is the cost of drilling oil gone up? Doesn't the thing just still go in the ground? What is more expensive about doing it now?
Well, it's all the parts, right? So it's labor, it's steel for the tube that goes into the ground for the shaft going in the well. It's all the mechanical parts, all the liquids, all the chemicals. Everything's up 20-25%.
So what you're saying is that the use worldwide has gone up about 25%, and the cost to get it has gone up 25%.
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so there was a bunch of changes made under Biden. They did the Green Dream scam, Reno stuff. And then Trump came in and was like, I'm getting rid of all of it. But then a bunch of Republicans got sideways and were like, whoa, our state is making a bunch of money off the green scam. What happened with the Green Dream as a part of the big bullcrap bill, and how's that going to affect what I got to pay for stuff?
All right. Well, I wanted to take one more thing real quickly about oil, if I could.
It's very good. You're a professional. Answer the question you want to answer.
So
very good.
My concern is that
should run for public office.
We're not. Yeah, I know. Well, we're not drilling any new wells, so that means our production is going to start dropping, and as the supply drops and the demand stays strong, prices are going to start increasing. So I do think we're going to see higher oil and gas prices next year. Maybe nothing crazy, but $3.50, $3.75 a gallon for gasoline is probably going to be the norm, because unless things turn around and we don't start drilling some new wells, as I mentioned before on the show, every well that's ever been drilled declines about 5% a year. So just to make up for that decline, you've got to be drilling a number of new wells, which we're not. So
okay. So tell me about the green stuff.
So yeah,
that sounds like a ripoff.
Well, the green stuff, in your favorite new bill that we just passed.
We didn't pass.
What is the name of it again?
The big bullcrap bill.
Big bullcrap bill.
Yeah, that's
there
right.
You go. There were some good things in there that I think affected green energy. And basically, they undid the Inflation Reduction Act that Biden did. So, for example, the maximum tax credit of $7,500 for buying an electric car ends on September 30th. So
better get that fast.
Better go out and buy one if you're thinking about buying one, because it'll go away. A lot of the energy credits for your house are going to go away at the end of the year. So a lot of times, you put new windows in, you put new roofing on, whatever. A lot of those credits are going to go away. The wind and solar projects are going to have to work on a positive business model. I mean, they're going to have to cash flow on their own, as opposed to getting these huge tax subsidies, and loan guarantees and all this sort of stuff.
Why can't they make it work on their own?
That's exactly right. They should be, and they should have been doing that all along. But unfortunately, that's not what's happened. So
you can say it louder.
Subsidies.
But that's my question.
Subsidies.
Why can't they make it work on their own? Is there just not a demand for? Like, why? Do you have any theory on that?
Not really. It's just the volumes.
Why would they?
The amount of energy that is produced is relatively minor compared to the cost that gets paid. For example, let me just say this: since 2004, $5.4 trillion have been spent worldwide on solar and wind projects. And they have a 3% market share in terms of providing energy in the world.
Wow. Bill Herrick, the oil guy, is our guest. Midwest Energy Partners, that's his company. We're talking about oil, gas, energy. Okay, real quick question. I see a lot of pressure from these solar farms to just take this beautiful farmland and put a bunch of solar farms right here in central Indiana, and some communities are outraged about this. The legislature seems to be buying into some of that bull crap. Should we be concerned about that?
Well, I think, again, it's the tax credits are going to go away. So most of those projects don't work. So, I think those problems are going to solve themselves looking at them. But I know in one particular case, actually one of my partners was presented with a case 2 years ago for a solar farm, and they've totally gone away. The numbers just didn't work.
Can you tell us about the recent survey that was done by the American Enterprise Institute?
Oh, I'd love to, because I know you guys love surveys. It was an entity called American Enterprise Institute canvassed voters last October about global warming and green energy. And they
asked people how they felt about it.
Yeah, and they also asked if people were consider themselves as conservative or liberal, which I found as an interesting question to start with. And the survey had a lot of predictable results, right? One of them was that liberals are not very smart when it comes about energy issues. So, for example, the survey found that 53% of the voters who identify as liberal believe we should phase out all use of coal, natural gas, and oil, relying entirely on renewable energy sources.
Wow.
Okay.
So now keep in mind, again, that solar doesn't work in the dark and wind doesn't work when it's not windy. So, good luck keeping your air conditioning on if that's going to.
Do those people think that through?
Yeah, I don't have a clue. I mean, it's beyond me. But only 29% of all the voters in this survey, though, believe that. So again, it just tells you how much out of line the liberals are. But other predictable results, which I thought were interesting, 40% of the voters saw that climate change was a priority. I should say only 40%. The top five they mentioned were strengthening the economy, fighting inflation, preventing terrorism, protecting our borders, and reducing health care costs.
So only the green crazy people actually care about this.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing I think. Two things, actually. Only 38% of the people that were canvassed were willing to pay $1 a month for climate change.
What was the number? What percentage?
38%. so you got 2/3 of the people saying, no, I'm not going to even pay $1 for that.
That's great.
Yeah, and then almost 70% of the respondents were against paying for green energy projects if it meant paying higher utility costs.
Hey, question. Casey scribbled this down on her paper there, and I thought that means she desperately wants it to be asked. What do you know about these small modular reactors? Braun's trying to sell this nuclear power stuff as some end-all, be-all. I'm not aware of anywhere this has actually worked in this country yet.
Right. I'm not really that intelligent about it. I mean, I read about it, and they're interesting. The data center issue is a big issue that I have because it's going to cause us all to pay significantly higher utility prices.
Thank you.
It doesn't provide any new jobs. It takes a bunch of land. It takes a bunch of water resources. I don't understand what the excitement is about doing these things, but yeah, a lot of these would be requiring to be building these little mini nuclear plants.
Okay, before we let you go, I have a very important question for you because in my mind, I picture you like you're like a J.R. Ewing, like you've got a cowboy hat on with the belt buckle.
You need to
out at the
well. You need to get your vision checked.
How many times because you are John Herrick's father? I know we always like to preface it, news director at WIBC. Right. With your cowboy hat on, were you standing out at the well and you looked at John as a boy and said, "You're just a colossal disappointment"? How many times did that happen?
Never. He's a great kid.
You never looked at him once and said, "This could all be yours one day."
Yeah, which is why he got in the radio.
That's right. He said, "No, thank you." Yeah, we love John. Midwest Energy Partners. Bill Herrick, you're the best. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
During Friday's broadcast, an unfortunate statement was made. It is not the opinion of the station. Fabio De La Cruz is a friend of the Urban One Radio Group. What was stated is not the view of the station group. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, Russia was always a lie. But now you know who started the lie. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
You know, sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com. I've had my Window Nation windows installed for a couple of years now, and my air conditioner is no longer working overtime in the summer. And these are the dog days of summer, but if your windows are old and drafty, time for some new Window Nation windows. Check it out, 50% off all Windows styles plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. All the details at windownation.com.
And when Window Nation comes out to your house, they are bringing the best of the best. A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, and their staff, years of experience. And look, when we have a heat wave like we had recently, I think you understand how important it is to have good windows that keep the blistering hot out and your perfect climate inside. 50% off all window styles. Any style at all, 0 interest until 2030. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Schulke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Schulke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
You know that thing called AI? Supposed to make the workplace super efficient? Well, there's something better. DI, Delicious Intelligence. It's tech that helps make work efficient and yummy. Leading the DI revolution, EasyCater, a workplace food platform that connects you to tons of favorite restaurants with tools to save time and stay on budget. Need tacos for 20? Falafel for 40? A variety of vegan breakfast sandwiches? Now that's a tasty prompt. Join the DI revolution. Order now at easycater.com.
Stay on your home court with Franciscan Health's top-rated cardiac heart care. No traveling, no waiting. Just award-winning heart care right where you live. Rated #1 in Indiana 2 years in a row for cardiology and cardiac care by health grades, Franciscan Health offers first-in-the-world treatments, cutting-edge technology, and unmatched compassion because we believe every heartbeat is extraordinary. Don't sit on the sidelines with heart trouble. Schedule a same-day cardiology appointment today at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our Rhino Shield has been on for 8 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
The WIBC mashup is everything you love, from fiery debates to laugh-out-loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce. Just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Casey, a legendary Hoosier, big part of many of our childhoods, passed away over the weekend.
Yeah.
Bob Hamill. Bob Hamill, I believe, was 88 years old. And many people will know Bob Hamill across the state as a guy who in many ways was, I mean, he was the editor of the Herald Times, which is the paper of record in Bloomington. But most people will know him, especially from a statewide and national perspective, as sort of the guy in the media that Bob Knight liked.
Named Indiana Sports Writer of the Year 16 times.
You know, we've never won any awards. Think about that. We've never won any awards.
No, that's not true. We were awarded 29th best podcast in Indianapolis out of 100. So that's not nothing.
So Bob Hamill, like one of the cool things about Indiana is there are these people, or were these people, who, if you said their name from somebody to somebody out of state, it would mean nothing to anyone, right? Like there's not websites dedicated to them. You know, tens of thousands of people aren't paying to see them. But in our own little pocket of Hoosierdom, they are a big deal. And I think about this like with Don Hine passing away, was that a couple weeks ago now, the legendary WTHR sportscaster who for many, many years was bringing you the nightly sports report in the days where even having cable was a big deal. Most people were watching one of the big three, and he was the voice of the Pacers. And it's like, in terms of will there be a flow of people making pilgrimages to the final resting place of Don Hine? Probably not. But in the orbit of being a Hoosier, that guy and what he did was a big deal. And I think the same way with Bob Hamill, because Bob Hamill was able to get more out of Bob Knight, who, if you were to make a Mount Rushmore of all time, certainly Indiana sports figures, but maybe all-time Indiana figures, Bob Knight would be on that. And we probably know more about Bob Knight, or more was relayed about Bob Knight
because of Bob Hamill.
Than maybe any other person alive. And you couple that with his coverage. I mean, while he was known for his friendship with Knight, his coverage of Indiana athletics and those great basketball teams and legendary football teams. I mean, people forget there have been some, even before last year, some pretty good IU football teams. It's just like a little piece of us leaves when guys like that go, because you're not around to hear them anymore. They're all the information they gave, you're like, man, I wish they'd maybe given a little more. And so just enjoy those people while they're still with us.
Yeah, you had mentioned Bob Knight, of course. Bob Hamill, wrote his memoir, Bob Knight's memoir, Knight, My Story, and the Bill Cook Story. I mean, this guy's resume was incredible. When you think about how he was the Indiana Sports Writer of the Year 16 times, he was inducted into the Indiana Journalism Hall of Fame, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, the Indiana University Athletics Hall of Fame, the U.S. Basketball Writers Hall of Fame. But not just that, he also covered major events like the 68 Rose Bowl, the 72 Olympics, the Munich Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And he's known to be fair and positive and accurate.
And one of the things he did in reading these tributes to him, whether it's Indy Star has one, the Bloomington Herald-Times has a big one, obviously. Bob Hamill, by all accounts, gave back to young people in our business. And I remember when I first started, my mentor was a legendary broadcaster. People will know him by the name of Jay Baker, who was best known as his Years with Bob and Tom. And when I was 18 years old, I met Jay, and Jay spent years helping me become this. And I remember thanking him one day for that, and it was very young, but he said, someday you will have that opportunity to give back to younger people, and that will be an important thing for you to do. And you won't understand that until you have the opportunity to do that. And I'm getting to that phase now and getting it. And so I think that is one of the lasting legacies of Bob Hamill, is how many people are in this field, in the journalism or broadcasting field.
Because of him.
Because of him, and that he gave to them and helped them. And so what a great loss for the state of Indiana.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. No irritability, no cravings, because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. You know, the government, they're screwing you left and right. They're taking as much money as they can. And Universal Windows Direct can help you put a little bit back in your pocket with this incredible deal where you get not one, but two options to save you a lot of money. Listen to this. And of course, it all ends with you having brand new, beautiful windows in your home. Option number one. Payments as low as $99 a month. That's right. Payments as low as $99 a month. For what Casey loses in her couch cushion every month, you could have brand new, beautiful windows in your home. Option number two, 12 months, no interest, no payments. That's right. One whole year with brand new, beautiful windows with no interest or no payments. You make the choice. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and most importantly, schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate. Call Universal Windows Direct today. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Check them out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Bill Estes Ford is your neighborhood truck dealer. And right now, during the Ford Summer Sales Event, we've got an amazing deal you won't want to miss. 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. That's 3 big zeros, which adds up to 0 excuses not to drive home in a new Ford today. Every day is truck day. Go anywhere, do anything in a new F-150, starting at just $46,295. Bill Estes Ford. Online at BillEstesFord.com.
Stock BFP 250444. Always see CP there for details.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Stay on your home court with Franciscan Health's top-rated cardiac heart care. No traveling, no waiting. Just award-winning heart care right where you live. Rated #1 in Indiana 2 years in a row for cardiology and cardiac care by health grades, Franciscan Health offers first-in-the-world treatments, cutting-edge technology, and unmatched compassion. Because we believe every heartbeat is extraordinary. Don't sit on the sidelines with heart trouble. Schedule a same-day cardiology appointment today at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
For all your home's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and drain needs, remember the man for all seasons, Chapman. AC tune-ups right now, only $89. Schedule online today at chapmanheating.com. That's chapmanheating.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, you'll hear about the Indiana heat this week and how bad it could get. How is Indiana Fever guard Caitlyn Clark's recovery from an injured groin going? And this event is supposed to give first responders some love. Those stories and more after Fox News on 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 11 o'clock.
2 illegal immigrants in custody in New York City. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, facing charges after an off-duty Border Patrol officer was shot and badly wounded during a robbery attempt Saturday night.
There's absolutely zero reason that someone who is scum of the earth like this should be running loose on the streets of New York City.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem also said after visiting the officer in a hospital this morning that one of the suspects, who was also wounded when that officer returned fire, was allowed into the country illegally 2 years ago and has been arrested numerous times, facing several criminal charges before this attack.
How many more lives will it take? How many more people have to be hurt and victimized before we have public safety be a #1 priority in some of our largest cities?
Now an update on an infamous illegal immigrant controversially deported in March with other alleged gang members and then returned by court order.
Lawyers for the Trump administration and Salvadorian migrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia have agreed to keep Abrego Garcia in the U.S. for an additional 30 days before he's released and likely deported while awaiting trial. Abrego Garcia was deported to El Salvador before being brought back to the States to face human trafficking-related charges in Tennessee, where he's currently jailed.
This Fox's Ryan Schmelz. A dad is in custody in Latham, New York, facing charges he murdered his daughter, a 9-year-old Canadian girl. This after he'd called 911 to report Melina Fertolan was missing after being kidnapped. But State Police Captain Robert McConnell says there were inconsistencies and then they found her.
In an area Mr. Fertolan was suspected of having visited. During that search detail, at approximately 10:50, members of the New York State Police Forest Rangers located Melina deceased in the shallow portion of a pond.
The case of Harvard against President Trump back into federal court in Boston this morning for a hearing into the university's lawsuit trying to unfreeze nearly $3 billion in federal money it claims was illegally withheld. The Trump administration is demanding Harvard make policy changes, claiming it's allowed anti-Semitism to flourish, harming Jewish students. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
What to expect from this week's weather. Cloudy and 77 degrees on Monument Circle at the moment. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 11:02. If you're wondering about rain,
we don't think Indianapolis is going to see too much rain today. It looks like the main focus for rain will really be across far southwestern and southern Indiana through the day.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says heat index values will be near or above 100 degrees from Wednesday through the end of the week. $3.15 a gallon is the statewide average for gas across Indiana today, says Gas Buddy. That's a 20-cent increase from this time last week. A person died in a crash on Indy's far east side near I-70 just before 9 o'clock this morning. IMPD believes the victim in that accident was a woman, and it happened on southbound Post Road near the I-70 off-ramp. They're trying to figure out how the crash happened. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White does not expect Fever guard Caitlyn Clark to play in Tuesday night's game against New York. White said Sunday that Clark is trying to recover from a groin injury.
So we're just going to continue to take it one day at a time and let her get her evaluations early this week, and then once we've done that, hopefully we'll have more of a clear line of what it looks like.
This will be the second time the Fever have played the New York Liberty in less than a week. Tip off at 8 o'clock. On Tuesday on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Honoring Hoosier Heroes is the goal of an upcoming concert in Indianapolis. Johnette Cruz reports.
Indianapolis is set to celebrate its everyday heroes this fall. The Indy Public Safety Foundation today unveiled exciting plans for its frontline fundraiser. On Friday, October 10th at the Everwise Amphitheater, the community is invited to honor police, firefighters, EMTs, and all first responders. The evening kicks off with a tactical tailgate offering a unique family-friendly peek into the world of public safety. Then get ready for a night of classic rock with live performances from legendary bands Kansas and Jefferson Starship. Tickets go on sale this Friday, July 25th at 10 a.m. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. It's 11:04. Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
Home sales activity is good, not great. So many homes, if improperly marketed, are sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent will cost you time and money. Hire the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast. The expert realtor I recommend is Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried with the challenging market you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what John in Greencastle had to say about working with Mark Dietl. I just bought a home in Greencastle. Shortly after, my son moved to the Fishers area, which left me an hour away from family and 45 minutes from work. A big mistake, and I felt stuck since I had been in the home less than a year. I asked the Mark Dietl team for help, and they delivered big. My home sold in 14 days for the price I needed so I could move closer to family and work. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. 317-480-4040. That's 317-480-4040.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Casey, this is the segment where I have so many questions.
Okay, let's see if we can't get you some answers.
All right, so the first question I have, there's this article in Indy Star. Who wrote this article? His name is John Tuhoy. Tuhi, Tuohy. Sorry, John, if I'm mispronouncing your name. But the title is this: Pacers G League Arena won't break even some years. Why Noblesville leaders aren't concerned.
Okay.
And this is about this big, what was it, like $37 million, mostly taxpayer-funded monstrosity that the Pacers G League team is going to play in now. They were the Mad Ants. What are they, the Boom? Or the Boom now. They're going to play in Noblesville. And this article goes through how this thing, this venue itself, according to the people that he talked to, they admit it will not break even on multiple years, even by the best projections. But the city of Noblesville is trying to say it doesn't matter because of all the other stuff it will bring in. And this has been my question for years. It's my question as an elected person, and now it's been a question as a media member as these facilities have grown. Be they arenas for G League teams, be they these Little League monstrosities, be they rec centers, be they lazy river swimming pools, whatever the thing that the taxpayers pay for in these communities, because we're always told of what an economic development driver it will be. If these things are so great and they're having such a positive economic development impact, why do so many of these communities that have them, why have they never had higher taxes? This is where you answer.
I don't know the answer to that, Rob. The thing, okay, so they're saying what? It's not going to pay for itself with the Boom games or anything ever?
My understanding of this is that because they're a tenant, the Boom are a tenant, but there will be other things going on there.
Yeah.
But they're trying to say, oh, well, because of all this investment or all these things that are going to go up around it. Okay, but then why do so many of these places who have these things, the municipal tax rates are very high. Oh, and on top of that, all their school systems have these school referendums because they can't pay the bills. If there's all this great corporate investment, all this commercial development going on,
it should lower the cost of everything else.
Why can't these people pay their bills? And why then does a place like where I live, where we have fought these things, Brownsburg, why does it one of the few communities, certainly of its size, with the supposed number one school system, there's one of the few places without a school referendum?
Right. They say that it's expected to be a catalyst for future investment in the area. So it's not going to pay for itself now, but maybe in 30 years.
Well, doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Like, what's it? Data centers, right? All the freebies that we're giving away. See, this is where it's people. These politicians recognize that people will see the headline and they don't understand how the system works. And the reality is, when it comes to municipal governments, property taxes are the primary driver. That is what the local community gets. Sales tax, unless it's food and beverage, it means nothing. Your community gets basically nothing off of sales tax. That goes to the state. So all this, it'll create all this business. It'll create all this commerce. That doesn't mean anything to you as a resident of that place in terms of what you're asked to pay every single day. And so if you're investing, because now so much of it's cash, it's not just, hey, we're going to give you an abatement. There's some sort of cash layout or cash giveaway, or we're paying to build the thing. Well, if you're 36, 37 million in the hole you got to make up, unless you're getting applicable property tax that goes up around that, well, most of these buildings that'll go up around it are going to get the 3%. They're going to get the abatements for 10 years. So it'll be 10 years before they pay the 3%. It's going to take decades for that thing to ever pay off. Well, no offense, I might not be here in decades.
Did you see that Ron DeSantis is now advocating for the nationwide abolition of property taxes altogether?
Well, and I saw Texas is having some sort of special session called in by their governor to directly address property taxes. But my question, and this is the thing that nobody can answer to me, and I keep asking this, if the growth is so good in any of these places, why have our property taxes never been higher? Why are all of these schools claiming they can't pay their bills without a referendum? If all these high-density housing developments are so great, if all of this, like where I live, a warehouse in every corner is driving society, then why? And then think about all the local taxes, the wheel tax, these food and beverage taxes. Why do we keep having to have all of these taxes if the developments that are coming into these places are so great, and if these, whether it's the Little League, the complexes, the rec centers, the lazy rivers, these arenas, the hockey thing in Fishers, why can't we get the property taxes under control if these are such great economic development drivers?
Oh, because it's government and it snowballs, Rob. It just keeps growing and growing.
Oh, so you did answer okay, so you've answered the first question. So, right, and I get, nobody, people are always like, you're just against growth. No, I'm for growth that helps the people that live there. You know why? Because I've not only talked this talk, I've walked this walk. Hey, raise your hand if you cut property tax rates 18.5% in 4 years. Oh, hey, that's me. Raise your hand if you passed at the time the largest voluntary property tax rate reduction in the history of the state. Oh, that's me. Oh, I'm the one raising my hand.
Yeah.
So see, I get to comment on this. And the reality is that if you are not, if whatever development it is, I always used to look at it, this development, this thing, be it a housing development or a commercial development, is it lowering the cost of people living in this community? If the answer is yes, then we got a conversation. If the answer is no, then you have to tell these people to smooch both of your butt cheeks and say, thank you, have a nice life. Give that to someone else, and I'll let them brag about their bright, shiny object, and we'll just keep the low taxes and affordable living.
Yeah, no, because instead of giving you any of your money back, they're going to find something else to spend it on. And then once that's there, it's got to keep growing and growing and growing. You know that.
Okay, very good. So we've answered that. So I'm not out in left field on being the one guy, because they always like you're anti-growth, you're anti-progress, you're blah blah blah, and it's like, no, I'm just for my people. And if their cost of living is not more affordable, then why would I want them to subsidize something that someone else is going to use? It'd be one thing if, hey, the not the Mad Ants, the Boom have decided of all places, Noblesville is the perfect place to set up our roots, and they've bought this land, and they're going to build this arena, and it's going to pay the property tax. Okay, cool. Great. Good luck. Wish you the best. Thanks for the check you're writing every single year. let us know what we can do to help you in terms of promoting that the new team is here. But that's not the way this is working. The taxpayers on these mixed-use developments, on these arenas, on these lazy rivers, on these Little League complexes, on these rec centers, they always do the cash outlay, which means everything else, decades, is about catching up. It's decades of catching up for the cash outlay, the expense. And what, 40 years from now? Well, most of us aren't even going to be alive anymore 40 years from now. So, oops, it didn't work out.
Right. Well, you could, I don't know, could have the president come in and say, you know what, either give the money back or change your name or, something. Because that's what he was doing over the weekend.
Yes, so Trump is very focused on the Indians again and the Redskins. Right. So Trump, not wrong. Trump is very adamant that the Cleveland Indians should change their name to the Cleveland Indians, and that the Washington Redskins, what are they? They're the Commanders now. The Indians are the Guardians, Major League Baseball team.
Right.
Which is a stupid name.
Right. Where did that come from?
That's just stupid. And at least the Commanders is like a decent. Although I kind of like Washington football team. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was better than Commanders. And it's interesting because we are seeing a societal shift away from political correctness to where somebody pointed out how 4 or 5 years ago, Nike's ad campaign was that Dylan Mulvaney dude.
Dylan Mulvaney in a sports bra, and now it's Scotty Scheffler with his son Bennett.
Right. And so it's okay to admit we made a mistake. People actually didn't care about the name. They didn't actually want the name changed. We listened to a couple of really loud barkers in the room, and we've recognized this is our franchise, this is our history, the same way as the Indianapolis Indians aren't offending anyone, the Cleveland Indians and the famed logo of the old chief not offending other than about 3% of the population, and tell those people to eat it.
Well, now Trump's saying he's going to block the new Washington Stadium deal.
Good for him.
Unless the team returns to the Redskins name.
Good for him.
I don't think he really has any control over that.
Well, if there's federal money going to it, who knows? I mean, isn't the president, I know there's a mayor of Washington, D.C., but isn't the president technically in some capacity sort of above the mayor of Washington, D.C.? In the greater Washington, D.C. area?
In some capacity.
Isn't he sort of the guy? All right, we have to take a break. This is the hour of questions. Now, I have questions about an application that was brought to my attention and an online resource that was brought to my attention. And I don't know, is this legitimate?
Okay.
Should I be alarmed? Is this a stooge test? We won't name any names. We're certainly going to protect the innocent, but I have questions about what's going on the internet.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Historic flooding.
This is a 100-year catastrophe.
Lives shattered.
Dedicated, searching for every single one of the children.
It's horrible. I have grandchildren that I couldn't imagine them flowing down a river.
Support Texas flood relief efforts by going to SALArmyEDS.org. Whatever you can spare will help.
It is undescribable and catastrophic.
From 93.
This is a national emergency.
WIBC.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about. Your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are 2 very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. 317-480-4040. That's 317-480-4040.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 HRV LX all-wheel drive for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake.
Visit us off State Road 37 for special pricing during our summer sales event. With approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. All fees due at signing. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends July 31st. See dealer for details.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember.
This is like the perfect intro to this, what we're about to talk about, because I have questions. But, Kev, I don't know if you know this, but Cat Stevens... By the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Cat Stevens is one of those dudes who has Cat Stevens' window, you were there. You know this better than I do. His window of relevance was relatively short. It was like early 70s. There's like a 3 or 4 year window where he was just totally on fire, and then much of it through his own actions or whatever, he kind of just walked away. I think the music scene changed, but there's like a 3 or 4 year window where it was Cat Stevens and bread. The fastest way to get women to remove their underwear and throw it in your general direction was to play Cat Stevens or bread.
Well, he had a near drowning experience in 1977, and then after that he left the music industry in 78 after he did some deep personal searching.
Yeah, and he had an interesting life after that, and then I think he has since come back and does regular concerts now and is under a new name, but everybody knows you're going to see Cat Stevens. And my point though to you is most women you will engage with on the various dating apparatuses, they will have no idea that Cat Stevens has said any of this. And so you just start stealing Cat Stevens lines and they will just eat that. The sentimentality, I mean.
You want Kevin to walk up to a woman and say, "Ooh, baby, it's a wild world."
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
it's hard to get by on.
I mean,
what if I just sang
a
it?
smile?
No, see, you're trying to be dismissive of this, and I'm gonna say if you take these out of the context of the music and you just start saying it, now that I've lost everything to you, you say you want to start something new, and it's breaking my heart you're leaving. Baby, I'm grieving. I mean, that's just incredibly...
It's too random.
He was basically Kevin Cronin 10 years before there was a Kevin Cronin.
Okay.
I mean, when Kevin Cronin was still screwing around in Terre Haute, Indiana, getting REO Speedwagon off the ground, and the greater Illinois, Eastern Illinois area, this was Cat Stevens was turning heads and impressing chicks. So I'm just telling you that you can do that. Okay, all of that being said, here's why I'm asking this. You know me, I don't know much about how the internet works.
Sure.
I mean, I can get on the websites. My thumbs operate properly to make what I think are pithy and sometimes hilarious commentaries on society on the social media apps. But I have no idea what's out there, and it has come to my attention. Several people have sent this to me that a person that I have had encounters with, this who we will not name, but I have no idea how this works. Is there's allegedly is it a Facebook group? Is that what it is?
Are we dating the same guy?
Are we dating the same guy? Now tell me how this works. It's getting so hard to be a sneak nowadays, Casey.
It's getting very hard. You'll get cold played real quick. Okay, so it's a network of over 200 local Facebook groups. Originally started in New York City in March of 22.
So wait. They've sort of combined, like this is like Captain Planet, the cartoon, where they've combined the rings into one super Facebook group.
Well, you have
or there's chapters.
Yes, there are chapters. That's a good way of saying
there could be like
it.
an Indianapolis chapter.
Yes, there is, based on location. I believe it's Indianapolis, Bloomington, Lafayette.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this thing existed until this weekend.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so what happens? Because I don't understand. I'm watching people converse about this person who I guess is allegedly engaging in social commerce with more than one individual. Is that what I'm...
That's what it looks like. So the app was intended, or the group.
It's a group.
The group. It was intended as kind of a whisper network for safety where women can share their different experiences.
So if you
warn each other about any potential red flags.
So if you go on a date with someone and you're like, something's off about Harold. I think there's some holes in Harold's story. I think he might be engaging in meaningful social interaction with someone else. You can put Harold's picture up.
Yeah, you can't use any personal info like addresses or contact details. And you can put their picture up, though. Their face.
Then now this is what I don't understand. These people's names, like on Facebook, the Kevin McNamara Facebook page, it's Kevin's name. There's a photo of him. I can judge whether that's Kevin's, or I can click on his profile. I can see if he's a real person. You can't do that with these people. There's no picture. There's just...
Well, you can't do a screenshot. You can put their picture up.
No, I'm saying the people commenting.
Oh, right. The people commenting. So they have to go through a process to get approval to join the group.
Okay.
So they have to fill out some information, and the administrators of the Are We Dating the Same Guy will go through and either approve you or not approve you.
Okay, so there's someone who vets the people who want into the thing.
Correct.
Now, my question is, what is the possibility of someone just making up a profile and saying, I'm engaging with this person? Is anyone else engaging with this person? And then they create multiple anonymous accounts. Let's say somebody owed you $50.
Right.
And you were enraged over they owed you $50 and weren't paying it back. Could you create these anonymous accounts and then throw this out there in an effort to harm the person in question?
Well, you're not supposed to be able to do that because it's all supposed to be vetted by the administration. And critics argue that these groups, they can promote what you're talking about, doxing or harassment or defamation. There was actually a lawsuit in California. You remember that man who sued 50 women for $2.6 million over defamation. There was
because
also,
they outed him on this page?
Yep. There was also an instance in Cleveland where a man sued Meta after being described as creepy, and that his personal or family information was shared.
So how would I determine then if this is legitimate or not? Because people send me things all the time, and a lot of times they'll just go in a file folder, and I'll leave them there, and I get through things when I can, and we call it the stooge test, right? Sometimes I think I'm being set up with the stooge test, where people will throw things at me to see if I'll take the bait on something.
Right.
However, multiple people have sent me this thing who I cannot find connections to each other. But then that's now the next step of the stooge test is there some way this person could be that he owes somebody a candy bar $50 or and it's just these people are enraged and they're trying to set this person up for
not
some sort of failure.
Supposed to be, according to this group.
Yeah.
Like, that's not supposed to be how this works. It's supposed to be a response to risks,
Right.
meeting people online. So if somebody is doing a stooge test, they're breaking their own rules.
See, this is why my life centers around, I go to the Arby's and then back to my secure abode every day. So everyone, that needs to find me for any reason, they would know.
They know where you are.
Where I'm at, right? and that way, if I were to owe somebody $50 or a candy bar or whatever, that wouldn't be logical that could be happening. But you're saying this is a legitimate thing in which there is some sort of vetting. Do they have to give?
They're supposed to be.
Are they supposed to be giving details though? Like, I went on a date with Jerry and we went to the movie, and then Jerry took me to his apartment at such and such a location, or the Motel 8.
Well, see, that's just it. You're not supposed like. You could say, yeah, Jerry and I went to a movie. Here's his picture.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody recognize him as being who he's not saying he is?
Okay, now the other.
But if you say Jerry Smith took me to the movie and then we went back to his place at 123 Main Street.
Yeah.
Well, that's not allowed because they can't use last name or address.
See, here's what got me though. This appeared to be the picture that they were using. And again, I don't understand how any of this works. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get hip to how the kids are doing things these days.
Sure, your wife appreciates this. Why are you investigating dating apps?
I told her we were going to talk about it. She's fully aware. The picture of this person they were using appears to be off a dating site of some sort.
Okay.
I asked Kevin, we will not name the dating site, but Kevin has familiarity with this picture or this dating site. My point is, shouldn't you have to have a photo of the person on the date so you know you were engaged in some sort of social interaction with that person? Like, say, cheese.
Per their own rules, you're not supposed to be using screenshots, and that sounds to me
So that is a red flag.
Right, like it's a screenshot that they took.
Yeah, you should need to have a photo of yourself. Kevin, I'm sorry, not Kevin McNamara, but that was just the first name that popped into my head. Larry and I went to the Indians game, and then you should have to provide some sort of photo that you and Larry were at the event together, right? Because you could ruin somebody's reputation on this.
Well, right, and this group has been sued in the past.
Yeah, and so people are sending this to me, and I was like,
reason.
what do you want me to do with this?
Right.
Like, I'm not an investigative journalist. We need other people to break the news, and then we comment on the news that they're breaking. That's how it works here.
Sure. We could try that avenue.
So, okay.
Again.
I should, what should I do with this? Should I just be like, there's too much possibility that this is some sort of stooge test shenanigans, let it go? I don't have time to do more research on this. I should just this should be in the file that's in the holding pattern.
Yeah.
And forget about it until someone provides.
I think you need to tuck that one away.
Okay.
Until somebody else finds some more concrete evidence.
Yeah. I didn't know what any of people were sending me this. And it was like.
And even if you found it, what are you going to do with it?
Well, right. It's none of my business. Right?
If somebody wants to step out, or if they're,
That's right. It's none of my business. I'm too focused on keeping you in line.
That's true. Talking about stepping out, we have to mention what happened with that astronomer CEO. You know, the guy who got cold-played.
Oh, good tease there. That's right. Very well done.
It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
He's looking at several things. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 11:30. The big thing to watch out for in Indiana this week is the heat, says Jason Puma at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
Anytime you get heat index values up that high, people are more susceptible to heat-related illnesses.
Puma says there'll be some scattered rainfall this week as well, but that's mostly in southern Indiana. It was an illegal immigrant who shot a Border Patrol agent in Manhattan this weekend. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem saying this morning that the officer had someone else with him at the time.
They were attacked by two individuals that were set on robbing them, and thankfully he had his service weapon with him and was able to defend himself and his friend.
Both people were arrested. And Starbucks saying today that their pumpkin spice latte will be available August 26th. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminar Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 2nd, Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Summers in Indy are great, but don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home's built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house, and all the pillars and everything. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
With Rhino Shield's 25-year transferable warranty, you'll never have to paint your home again. And right now, you can get 10% off the regular price.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and if you don't want to paint the house, that would be the way to go.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's family-owned jewelry store, is dedicated to quality and fine craftsmanship. Let them help you celebrate that special moment in your life. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Enjoy the soundtrack of summer with animals, music, food, rides, and more at the 2025 Indiana State Fair, presented by Get Prepared Indiana. Save now on discounted tickets.
This is the only Coldplay song I know.
Is it really?
Yeah, you know, for me, like if it happened after, what was Rain on the Scarecrow? Was that 86?
87, I believe.
Whatever that was sort of it for me. If it happened after that, I'm out.
That's when you stop listening to new music?
By the way, I told you we've gotten into every so often letting my toddler see 90s rap and hip hop videos of the family-friendly variety, and that she executed the jump from Crisscross perfectly, and it was awesome. So we had it on, and then the other day, an MC Hammer video comes on.
Yeah.
And my wife looks at me and goes, "Who's that?"
Oh, no.
And I said,
It's MC Hammer.
Well, let me tell you a story there, little lady. And I had to explain. She's like, I like his pants.
This is the whole thing.
And I had to explain so she was like, he was a big deal. I was like, he was the deal. To 6-year-old Rob Kendall, or 7 or whatever it was, MC Hammer was the deal. Everyone had the Too Legit to Quit album. You wanted the parachute pants. Your parents would not get you as a child in a small suburban community the parachute pants.
Never had any.
But you had, everybody had some colorful pants that they'd put on, and they would pretend they were the parachute pants. And then I had to explain the fall of MC Hammer, and then how he turned into like a gangster rapper, and then that didn't work out. And then somehow we got on Vanilla Ice, and that was a whole...
Did she know who that was?
Didn't know that was either.
Did she know he's a carpenter now in Florida?
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Robert Van Winkle? Vanilla Ice?
Yes.
I thought he was on like a bunch of reality shows. I thought that's what he did now.
As a carpenter, yeah, he's like fixes houses.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went through that whole thing. But anyway, it happened after about 1986, 87, whatever, Rain on the Scarecrow. I think the Rain on the Scarecrow was the last of the great albums. That was sort of like the last of the great, I don't know, Joshua Tree, that's 87. That was strong. Anyway, point is, all this new stuff, so I know that song because it's on the radio all the time.
Right.
But can you name, how many Coldplay songs could you name?
Clocks.
Who?
Yellow.
Oh. These are different songs?
Yeah.
Huh.
Those are the two. I mean, I could probably sing along more. I just don't know the title.
They strike me, and if you're
I've seen them in concert.
If you're like as a media member, or
no, as a fan.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you only know two or three songs.
Well,
so how big a fan
title,
are you?
That's what I'm saying. I can't tell you the title of the song, but I could sing along with it.
Yeah, they strike me as the sort of guys that are famous for being famous. Like, they don't have a laundry list. Do they have a laundry list, an encyclopedia of hits where you would say, wow, that moved the masses at a moment in time? Kevin?
They've got an impressive catalog.
They do?
Yeah.
Like, because the rule is if you have 3 mega hits, or 3 hits, you're a mega deal.
Oh, they're a mega deal. Oh,
I would say they probably
Viva
have...
La Vida? Sure.
Huh?
I bet they have maybe 6 songs that everyone knows.
No kidding.
Sky Full of Stars.
Okay. Because it seems like all
Paradise.
these concerts.
The Scientist.
Yeah,
I don't know any of these
another
songs.
one. You would know it if you heard it.
No, probably not.
No, you probably would.
I think you're underestimating how little I know what's going on.
I think you would know. I remember when they first came out because I was pregnant with my daughter and I was painting her bedroom yellow.
Oh.
And their song Yellow was very popular at the time.
Because it seems like there's a lot of people at these concerts. Like, for example, they're not playing the Vogue. They would be playing Gainbridge Fieldhouse if they came here.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously Coldplay is in the news because this CEO and his HR, do we call her an HR mistress? What do we refer to her as?
Paramore.
Do we know for a fact that they were actually engaged in a relationship? Have we ever determined what was actually going on there?
Well, I've seen other video of them, not the one that everybody's seen. It's from the backside, and it's a much longer shot, and they were canoodling.
They were okay, so they were definitely engaging in some sort of. This wasn't just he was doing the Heimlich maneuver. They caught them at a bad time. He was.
No.
You know, I don't know how she was having a back injury of some sort.
Sure, he was just propping her up?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so obviously there's the Astronomer. Is that the name of this company this guy ran?
Yeah. He's the CEO.
I'm exhausted with these two, and this is what the internet does now. Something happens, you become a meme or a GIF or a whatever, and it's funny for like a day, but now we're on a week of this, and it's all in my timeline all the time.
So are we almost over the memes?
Well, that doesn't seem like the public is.
What is the shelf life for things in the digital world?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is why I don't understand. It's not that funny to me. Like, okay, you got caught being a sneak, right? Maybe this woman should have gone to Are We Dating the Same? Sounds like she knew the guy she was dating. But it's like, okay, some of them were kind of funny. Like there were a couple of them where they put pro wrestlers who don't like each other together. That was kind of funny. But now that I'm on day 7 or 8 or whatever this
You're
is,
over it. It's time to move on.
I've moved past this, but the internet will not move past
So the company that he was the CEO for has launched a formal investigation. They placed him on administrative leave. They just got done doing...
He didn't quit.
It's being reported administrative leave.
Okay. So he's not officially.
Oh no,
set up.
you're right. He was put on administrative leave before his resignation.
So he has resigned.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just did a $93 million funding round in May.
Okay.
So the company's.
So you and I had this conversation last week about now. Obviously, the fallout is apparently, according to you, what you're reading there, that he has indeed said, "I'm out."
Mm-hmm.
But if we're so money driven in our society now. Money is the king.
Mm-hmm.
Money drives everything.
Yep.
The Cyndi Lauper song, even
Money
though it's 40 years old
everything.
now. Kevin, that's your job. You have to come in with that next segment as the bumper. That would it even really affect if this guy was making a bunch of money for this company? Would they just be like, well, people get bad headlines all the time. We have no moral compass anymore in our society.
No, the board of directors say it does affect everything because the astronomer said that their leaders are expected to uphold high standards of conduct and accountability, which he failed to meet. So that's the problem. Now, there has been a new verb that has been created because of this incident. I've used it a few times. Did you pick up on it?
No.
Cold-played.
Cold-played?
Yep. It's the act of being unintentionally exposed while cheating.
No.
Especially in public. Usually during major events, or to be seen at the wrong place with the wrong person at the wrong time.
It's really hard to be a sneak these days, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's getting harder.
It's synonyms if you were going to say, oh, you're busted, or you've been played.
Oh, I gotcha.
Gotcha. Now you've been cold played.
So the guy's quit. Can't we just move on of filling my timeline up with the photos? I mean, he's now served his punishment. Is she punished? How is he the only one that's getting punished?
Yeah.
Takes two to tango. Is she married? Do we know?
They were both married.
Well, they're both married.
Yeah, they were both married.
Well, then. If that's the case, that doesn't seem very HR appropriate to me.
Not at all.
All right, let's take a break. What are we doing next? What's going on?
There's this new phrase that's coming around. No, it's not called cold played. It's something that's going. You've heard of quiet quitting.
What's that?
It's when people just disengage at work. They don't officially quit, but they just kind of,
it's like Kevin on a daily basis.
Well, there's another one like that.
Oh.
It's not quiet quitting. It's the newest version of that.
How exciting.
And we'll talk about that coming up with Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on the Hammer and Nigel show, how to go for WNBA All-Star Weekend here in Indy, plus Guy Relford in for Hammer Monday Gun Day, 93 WIBC.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
Summers in Indy are great, but don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house, and all the pillars and everything. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
With Rhino Shield's 25-year transferable warranty, you'll never have to paint your home again. And right now, you can get 10% off the regular price.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and if you don't want to paint the house, that would be the way to go.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church, and they got a big event coming up Saturday, August the 2nd. You know, one thing that is true about our culture is that there is a call out for men to be strong and lead well. That's why Life Church is having a big men's event Saturday, August the 7th, where you'll hear some raw truth from men and men through the fire. The cost is just $50 for the event, and you can register today on the web at lifechurchin.com. You know, Life Church has campuses all across central Indiana. They're warm, they're welcoming. They would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. Learn more about it all. LifeChurchIN.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text Rocky to 369-369. That's ROCKY to 369-369. Rocky to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days. Honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned, Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
No one will love your HVAC system as much as we do. Call Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing for an honest assessment on your current AC system or get a great deal on a new one. Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, where coming home never felt so good.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
Keep going. You know what else changes everything?
What's that, Rob?
Not being able to keep your big yapper shut.
Oh, no.
I can't believe you tried to get through a whole show.
Yeah.
We have this awesome opportunity to dump all over Todd Rokita.
Yeah.
And you were going to let me get out of here without doing that. Nice try, lady.
I would just like to point out 11 o'clock right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the dump list.
I got
You chose to ignore the show rundown.
I got distracted by trying to figure out if that guy's being a sneaky sneak or not. And for the good of humanity.
You wanted to go off and do your own thing. It was right there.
Yeah,
right there.
Not so fast, Todd. All right, so the Indiana Supreme, this according to Indiana Capitol Chronicle, Indiana Supreme Court denies AG Rokita's motion to dismiss disciplinary complaint. So we've talked about the previous reports have come out that Todd Rokita, because he can't keep his big yapper shut, because he wants to be a politician in a position that politics should be completely removed from, and he cannot stand to not see or hear himself in the headlines, has been embroiled in this back and forth with the Indiana Disciplinary Commission.
This is going back to 22
years now.
So he made public comments on Fox News about an Indianapolis doctor and
abortion doctor.
Right, he called her an activist acting as a doctor.
Yeah. And then he got in trouble for that because attorneys, when you sign up to have a law license, which you have to be the attorney general, you're held to a higher standard, just like us on these radio airwaves. We can't say the F word, even though we can walk on the street and say it. It's what you sign up. It's not an impediment on your First Amendment right. You know I can't say that word, and Rokita knows, like any attorney, there's different behavioral standards. So this disciplinary commission has a complaint filed to them. They look at it. He comes to an agreement with them, saying, okay, I couldn't defend these things if they went in front of you in exchange for a reprimand, a slap on the wrist, I think a small fine, we'll all go our merry way. Well, then as soon as this comes out, He then can't keep his big yapper shut, and he starts trying to basically dismiss the agreement that he signed on to. So a bunch of people were like, well, wait a second.
Right.
You signed this. It's in front of the court. Yeah, you can't say I did it and then basically say I didn't do it.
Right. So the Indiana Disciplinary Commission, they say that Todd Rokita, Attorney General, misled the court about accepting responsibility.
So Rokita, this was one of his numerous taxpayer. I assume that we're still paying for the attorneys on this one. Todd can let us know if that's not true. We were at $500,000 at last.
Right. Indiana taxpayers so far have paid more than $491,000 in legal fees defending his law license.
Because he can't keep his fat mouth shut and just act like a normal person. So the Supreme Court, one of these motions to try to get out of it, they said, no, you got to move forward. There's some sort of panel of distinguished legal minds that are going to, I guess, hear this, and then the Supreme Court will weigh in on it. Here's the deal, Todd. Just be normal. Just do your job. Just be the chief law enforcement officer for the state of Indiana. Prosecute the things that need prosecuted. Go after the people that need going after. When you get a victory, hold it up for the public. Stay off the television. Stay out of the newspaper. Just do your job. Why is this so hard, Casey?
Okay, so the panel, they're going to submit their findings, and they will make the final decision, and possible sanctions could include private or public reprimand, temporary suspension, suspension with fitness review for reinstatement, or permanent disbarment.
If we get permanent disbarment, we're having a Kendall and Casey show pizza party at the Pizza King. How about that?
So we're at Pizza King.
We'll have a photo op at the Pizza King.
Okay.
That seems to be
it's where they all go,
that's right.
Okay.
So if Rokita gets permanent disbarment, we're having you, me, and Kev, the Kendall and Casey show party at the Pizza King.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for listening today. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
History returns with the Brickyard 400 at the famed 2.5-mile oval, celebrating NASCAR's roots at the racing capital of the world. Brickyard Weekend starts Thursday, July 24th with the Indiana Sprint Week race, with sprint cars running on the IMS dirt track for the first time ever. Saturday, July 26th, get ready for action with the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 250. Then Sunday, July 27th, the NASCAR Cup Series Brickyard 400, presented by PPG, returns to the oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Buy now and save at IMS.com.
Bill Estes Ford is your neighborhood truck.